mister. You look like a decent sport. You don't want a poor, suffering human being to go hungry for want of a dime.
Yeah, a disembodied hand stretched out for that ever-loving coin to buy just another whiff of that fine old anesthetic named muscatel. Or a brittle laugh of a painted Tootsie rising out of the night, proving to the world she doesn't care, laughing until the tears come. Or a flurry of footsteps rushing by, a muffled conversation deciding life or death or tonight's movie. An ambulance racing past on its way to General Hospital, its red warning light flashing on and off quickly, like the frenzied pulse beat of the poor devil inside.
Randy Stone, Demon Reporter. Hiya, R.S. How's the old Crusader?
Night is for the phony, too, like this character coming toward me while I was grabbing a bite in the little restaurant next to the radio and TV studio. The actor, on stage 24 hours a day.
You mind if I sit down next to you, baby? Yeah. What do you say? How's the kid, huh?
Oh, the kid's fine. Teething like mad. Nothing serious.
Barrel of laughs, this character. Real sense of humor. You know, I love that column of yours, baby. With me, it's like a shot of Benzedrine.
Uh-huh.
The only lack I find in it is that I never see any mention of, guess whom?
Whom?
John Bruce, the world's greatest thespian. Also available for wakes, weddings, and beer butts.
You couldn't see your way clear to letting go of my sleeve so I can finish my coffee.
How do you like this, citizen? He can insult you till you curl up and die, and you still love him. Look, I know the minute I'm out of your sight, you're going to forget me, so I'm going to give you this little postcard to hang on to. If your show could stand the boost, ask for the lad they call John Bruce. Well, it rhymes, anyway.
Yeah, I got to be going now.
Remember, baby, I don't mind what you say as long as you say something, huh?
Yeah.
That's Bruce spelled with a B.
I know it's spelled with a B. A great, big, beautiful hunk of zero. The sincere brown eyes continually shifting, sizing you up and figuring you out. A friendly smile so phony you look for the safety pins holding it in place. Ah, relax. It's a big night. You walk half a block and John Bruce is lost forever. Because there's always something waiting up ahead. I just turned down Grand Avenue. Oh, now there's one of the night's chilly little sounds for you, a burglar alarm shattering the quiet. I looked down the dark, empty street trying to figure out which store, and I saw a child come darting out of a doorway, began racing the other way. A child. Hey, stop! Stop! I tried racing after it, but there wasn't a chance. I went back to the store. It was a sporting goods place. One window smashed and blood splattered on the glass like the kid had used his naked fist to get to the display of guns and knives inside. After the cops came and I told them what I knew, I continued my wanderings. Down through the Lincoln Park district and up through Honky Tonk Road. Wild neon signs making the night bleed red and green and purple. And then the little jazz combos beating their brains And the barkers, their gold teeth flashing as they bang their canes against the sidewalk and shout about the 12 dancing girls waiting just for you. And they all gent hawking popcorn and hot tamales in a little child's wagon. And George, the 35-inch dwarf who sold newspapers with Clark and Knight. Evening, Georgie. How's it going?
Fine and dandy. Better than good. Always A1 for little Georgie.
Give me the Sun-Times. Always good to see what the competition's up to.
They are. Paper, read all about it. Get your paper.
That's a lovely headline. One of those silly jerks going to wake up.
Get evening paper.
Hey, George. Maybe the way things are in the world, this is a good idea, but since when have they started printing the paper in blood?
Huh? What are you talking about?
Look for yourself, smeared all over.
That's the way I got it. Yeah, I'll give you another.
Thank you.
Now, let go of my hand.
It's soaking through the bandage, George.
I cut myself in a can opener.
I hope you went to a doctor.
Doctor?
You've got to get all the glass out.
I got all of it. I told you it was a can opener.
All I saw in that window was guns and knives. I thought it was a kid.
Okay. So you got yourself a story. Get on the phone. Call the cops. What are you waiting for?
Funny for you to start telling me why a sweet guy is acting like such a dope. What is it, Georgie?
Almost 1 o'clock, a little more than an hour, and she'll be here. Go on. Call the cops. Call the cops. You'll be doing me a favor. If you don't, I'll kill him. I swear I'll kill him.
She'll show up in an hour, and you'll kill him. Kid, you lost me.
All right, Mr. Stone. You're a good guy. You're entitled to a laugh. Come on. Follow me.
He dumped his papers onto the stand and started across the street. 35 inches of desperate humanity. I followed him around back and down the stairs of an old tenement. He stopped at a basement door to fish out a key. I followed him inside a dark, dank hole. He flicked the switch. Fluorescent lights hissed on, throwing a cold white glow over walls draped in black velvet. There were dark booths and a small bar. It was empty, deathly quiet. I knew the establishment, an after-hours joint. When all the legitimate bars closed, those who still sought refuge from the night come to places like this. George headed straight for the only bit of brightness in the room, a gleaming aluminum jukebox in the corner. In the center of the jukebox was a neon mouth, and within the mouth, a microphone. Other neons spelled out the message, "Ask your tune." It operated like your telephone. Somewhere a girl sat at a switchboard connected to 50 such jukeboxes and taverns all over the city. George stood glaring at his tiny reflection in the jukebox shiny chrome.
I hate it. I'd like to smash it to pieces.
What, the jukebox?
The owner of this joint gave me a key so I could come in and get warm on cold nights.
Yeah?
Only you can see for yourself when you're alone. This place can give you the creeps. I thought maybe your tune would cheer me up, so I started horsing around with this jukebox, feeding it my loose nickels, like this. And then her talking to me.
What tune would you like?
It's me, Julie.
Oh, hello, darling.
Darling?
I'm so excited. George, just one more hour. So help me, I've got goose dimples.
Yeah. Me too, Julie.
We'll do it just like we planned. I certainly can't understand your feelings, and I admire you for them. Say before the boss catches me spooning, I better play a record.
Not a record, Julie. The record.
The record, George.
Okay, you can start laughing anytime you want, Mr. Stone.
What's this all about, George?
10 seconds of conversation with every record. It started as a gag, me playing the big lover because she couldn't see she was talking to a dwarf. It's a big joke, huh? On me. Because talking to her every night, I don't know. Something started happening to me inside. Happening to both of us because she felt it too. She really did, Mr. Stone. I mean, an understanding. I don't know the word. But she felt it too. And then he had to ruin it, destroy it.
Yes, it was soap opera at its subsidiest. The little dwarf and his love affair with Julie the jukebox girl. So help me, Georgie even invented an invalid wife. That was his reason why he and Julie could never meet except through the jukebox. But like all little melodramas taken from life, there was also a villain. One of the men who worked in this joint happened to overhear George spilling his heart out. And as a gag, when George wasn't around, he told Julie that the poor guy was dying to meet her in person, that they should get together at least once. And that's what's scheduled for 2 a.m., huh, this meeting?
Yeah. It was Julie's idea. I mean, the way it's going to be. The record made her think of it.
The record?
Yeah, it's from Tchaikovsky. Is that what they call him?
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Well, he and his baroness, some fancy lady, they had a friendship through letters, and they felt that they had to meet at least once. So one day they passed each other in carriages and nodded without a word and went on. Never saw each other again.
And what's good enough for Tchaikovsky is good enough for Georgie and Julie, huh?
Yeah. She'll be wearing a green hat and a sprig of violets, and I'll be wearing a red flower. Well, you think she'll be a little surprised at what she's going to see, Mr. Stone? Isn't it a joke? It's okay for you to laugh. Go on, laugh, Mr. Stone. Laugh!
I turned. He was a big, paunchy, bald-headed gent, standing in the doorway, having himself a wonderful time. It was right out of Mac's Senate, a barrel of laughs. George, the dwarf, charging right into the big guy, who merely lifted him up, shrugged his shoulder, and sent the little fellow flying across the room, crashing into a wall.
Oh, what a character that little monkey is, huh? Did he tell you about his romance?
So you're Cupid.
That's me. I'm even willing to stake him to that rose for his lapel. Nothing's too good for Lover Boy. What a line he's got. You gotta hear it to believe it.
Oh,
Hey, George! The knife in George's hand would have looked much better back in that sporting goods window. He moved out of the shadows. He moved toward the big guy. A trickle of blood ran down George's mouth, but he didn't know anything about that.
Put that knife away or I'll shove it down your throat.
But George kept coming. The smile on the big man's face took a leave of absence.
Hey, come on now, George. What's the matter? Can't you think a joke?
A bead of sweat started zigzagging down his face, mixing with the talcum powder. His lips continued to work, but now no words came out. Because this thing coming towards him, this wasn't a comical little dwarf. This was death.
NBC is bringing you Night Beat, starring Frank Lovejoy as Randy Stone.
Enjoy the very best in radio. Be sure that you dial and write. Seems like the very best in radio. Morning, noon, and night. It's from this station. Morning, noon, and night.
And now back to Night Beat and Randy Stone.
George the dwarf was passing in front of me on his way to the big guy who'd loused up his romance with Julie, the jukebox girl. The knife glinted in his hand, and he didn't even know that I was there. The only other person in all the world existed for him at that moment was a heavily perspiring fat man. And as George came just a little closer, I lunged at him.
Let me go!
Twisted his arm back until the knife clattered to the floor. And I reached down for it as George tore loose and ran out of the door.
How do you like that little character trying to knife me? I'm going to call the cops so fast.
Wouldn't that be a little awkward, seeing how the joint here is slightly illegal?
Huh? Well, one thing I'm going to do, I'm going to tell this Jane on the jukebox who she's dealing with. I'm going to tell her this crazy punk's liable.
Mister, you even say howdy to that girl, and I might decide to find George and give him back this knife. I found George all right, slumped against his newsstand, all through wanting to kill anybody. I told him I'd see the cops, and maybe they'd say it was okay if George paid for all the damage to that sports store and behaved himself from now on. That didn't make him feel much better, because it was getting awfully close to 2 o'clock in his meeting with Julie. I told him that I'd call Julie and inform her that he'd suddenly come down with a slight case of bubonic plague or something. I got the name of the company off the jukebox in the after-hours joint, the Acme Music Company. I found a phone booth, reached for a coin, and instead came up with a card that said, if your show can stand a boost, ask for the lad they call John Bruce, and John's beautiful, phony face smiling up at me. All of a sudden, I was looking for the phone number at the bottom of the card, and then I began dialing like mad. That's got to be her.
Which one?
Coming down the street. The green hat, the sprig of violets. Yep.
Wow. This is going to be a distinct pleasure, baby.
Just remember what you're supposed to do, baby. You walk past, you nod, and you keep walking.
What's the mystery all about? You can level with Brucey, boy.
$10, no questions asked. That was the agreement.
Can I at least mumble some quote about...
You open your mouth for anything but breathing.
Okay.
He's almost reached the corner. Move. I stepped back to the paper stand where George was waiting. Together we watched Julie and John Bruce approach each other. Mr. Tchaikovsky never had it so good. She was really something out of body beautiful. As the two approached, George's hand unconsciously fastened on my arm. Now Julie and John were passing each other, their eyes meeting. George's hand began to tighten.
Julie. Oh, how beautiful. How beautiful.
Julie nodded to John Bruce, and out of the corner of my eye, I saw little George nod in return. For one sickening moment, I thought Bruce was going to open his mouth and go into a monologue, but somehow he controlled himself. They passed each other and went on. I looked down at George. His eyes were shining.
It was me. What I said to her, pouring out my heart, that brought her here tonight.
Sure it did.
Yeah. But why couldn't it really have been me? Why couldn't it have been me, Mr. Stone?
Ask the stars. Maybe they had an answer for you, Georgie. Me, I had work to do. I still had my story to find. Somewhere among the waiters, holding their tuxedos away, yawning as they changed into their street clothes. Somewhere among the jazz musicians, their faces waxen with fatigue, their shirt collars soaked in sweat, but still reaching for that beautiful, pure note. Somewhere in the police wagons, screaming insanely down the street. Somewhere in the yellow lights of the general hospital, a mile of empty warehouse, a strip of breezy pier, a desolate park, in an alley, on a street corner. Somewhere in the night, my story was waiting for me. And now, that was all that mattered. By morning, I'd forgotten all about George and Julie and John Bruce. I'd finished my column, and I'd gone home to snooze. Only my saga of the jukebox wasn't ended. It had only just begun. Yeah.
Hiya. I wake you up after 10 a.m.
Well, what do you know? What do you want, Bruce?
I do okay?
Oh, you are magnificent. I'll see you around.
Oh, wait a minute, Randy.
Yeah.
The broad.
Yeah?
Friend of yours?
No.
What was that routine? You got old Johnny Boy guessing.
Well, good for Johnny Boy. See you around.
Randy, look, as long as she's not a friend, like they say, where can I locate this kid? Maybe we'll have a couple of laughs together. No kidding, baby. Where can I find her?
Goodbye now. Yeah, when you're in my racket, when you deal with these characters on the night beat, brother, you've got to be prepared for the totally unexpected. Johnny Boy had fallen for the lady of the jukebox like a ton of bricks. Of course, he couldn't come right out and say it plain and simple. He had to ham it right up to the hilt. But I knew the score. And from then on, he haunted me night and day.
Ah, come on, Randy. Who is she? Where can I find her? Give the girl a break, huh?
He'd corner me on the street, at the newspaper, at my home.
Who is she, Randy? Come on, be a pal. What's wrong with me looking her up and giving her a little attention?
Day after day after day.
Where can I find her, Randy? What's the big mystery?
For a while, I even enjoyed it. He was sweating, and on him it looked good. But I guess this morning, I just wasn't in the mood. I'd come down to the office around 5 a.m. And any newspaper office that time of day is a pretty sad affair. Cleaning women sloshing their way up and down the aisle, the gray, listless dawn flat against the windows, the empty desks, and me with one of those real sour little tales to write about a bum they'd found behind some garbage cans on Skid Row. A bum with a Distinguished Service Cross pinned to the pocket of his filthy shirt. One of those gallant young gods that we swore we'd never forget. Yeah, I was feeling Jim Dandy as I sat down to my typewriter, and I whipped a hunk of paper into the roller. And then I saw John Bruce standing in the shadows across the room from me.
Hello, Randy.
Well, friend, I'm not in the mood this morning. I've got work to do.
Randy, you've got to listen to me. Right?
They found him a little after midnight behind a wine shop.
Randy, you've got to tell me where I can find him.
Just another bum. Sleeping it off.
Randy, listen to me. You've got to tell me what...
Look, Buster, I'm telling you nothing. You understand that? One dame is going to escape the famed John Bruce charm. It's a very small tragedy. Now, clear out of it.
If you'll only listen to me, please.
I'm slightly bored with listening to you, Mr. Bruce. I'm even more bored with looking at you, Mr. Bruce. You're so phony it sticks out like measles, Mr. Bruce, from your crisp, curly hair right down to your beautifully polished shoes. If this comes as a great surprise...
No great surprise, Randy. Since when can a guy keep that kind of news from himself?
Okay, I'm sorry. I'm pretty tired.
I don't know what it is. I won't even try to explain it. I can't explain it to myself. It's that success bug. It's dog eat dog. Anything goes as long as you make it. Why do you have to make it? Does it say so in the Constitution?
Look.
But about her, I'm not putting on any act about her, Randy. I'm a big boy now. Love at first sight. Am I kidding? Listen, Randy. We just exchanged a look, maybe 5 seconds. And until the day I die, I won't be able to forget it. I guess that sounds like some more of Johnny Boy's routine, huh?
No. Go on.
Go on? What can I tell you? How do you explain it? But in those few seconds, I saw something I've been looking for all my life, Randy. Something genuine. Something real. Something... Well, maybe I saw my own salvation, Randy. Or maybe I was just kidding myself, selling myself a bill of goods. But I got to find out. I got to see her again, talk to her. Maybe the minute she opens her mouth, the dream will come tumbling down like Humpty Dumpty. I don't know.
I don't think so.
Now, where is she, Randy?
The Acme Music Company. Only take your time. She doesn't show up until night. I don't know why I did it. Maybe it was something I saw in John Bruce's eyes that made me feel if I didn't tell him, well, it would have been a bum deal for Julie. I wanted to reach George right away, try to explain what I'd done, but I didn't know where to look for him except at his newsstand. In my world of the night, all you ever know about anyone is where they are right now. I didn't sleep much that day. Making George understand wasn't going to be any cinch. But he had to know that this had been a sick thing that could only hurt him in the end. That night, I hurried right onto his newsstand, only he wasn't around. I started worrying, and on a hunch, I went across the street to the after-hours joint. The door was ajar. I went in. He was there, squatting in front of a jukebox, listening to his song. His back was to it. And I searched my mind like crazy for the right words. He was fumbling with some coins, and he slipped one of them into the jukebox.
Like it, darling?
Oh, you know I do. Every time I hear it, I see you again. So beautiful.
You're pretty beautiful yourself, mister.
Julie, it's wonderful to hear you say that.
I backed out quick. I didn't get it. Why hadn't she gone with John Bruce? I hopped a cab for the Acme Music Company, a dilapidated office in a loft on Huron Street. Front door was open, so I went on inside. An empty desk with papers scattered all over, but nobody around. I went into a dark hallway marked No Admittance. Ahead of me was a lighted glass door with the word Studio painted on it. I started for it when someone came running up behind me.
Hey, you, can't you read the sign? No Admittance. I thought that was very clear.
There wasn't anybody at the desk.
You're telling me something I don't know? Quitting without a minute's notice. That's a fine thing, huh?
Mister...
Wait, that Sally, she'll want a reference someday. I'll give her a reference, all right. Now, come on.
Sally, is she the one who quit?
Without a minute's notice. A jerk comes popping in. I was working in back. Next thing you know, she's waltzing out of here with him. But that's okay. Someday she'll want a reference.
Sally is a dark-haired girl, beautifully built.
So she's beautifully built. Big deal. Come on, mister. I got 50 things to do.
Then that would be Julie working in the studio up ahead.
So?
Well, do you mind if I peek in through the door? Then I'll go.
You want to peek? All right, peek. With Julie, I'm not worried about her running off. With Julie, I'm safe.
Yes, he was safe with Julie. As I looked through the glass door, I thought, sure, it figures. Two can play the same game. The dwarf had his John Bruce, and Julie had her Sally. Julie couldn't have shown up for a meeting with George even if she wanted to, because I very much doubt that Julie could have lifted her 350 pounds out of that chair. Huge, sprawling Julie, working like mad at her switchboard with its flashing lights from jukeboxes all over the city. And then while I watched as she answered one call, something happened. Her eyes lit up in a strange and wonderful way. Then she flicked a switch that played a certain record for a certain jukebox, and her eyes became even more bright. I didn't have to hear the rest of the record. She was playing their song for her guy, George. And all of a sudden, I realized how right George was. Julie was. Yeah, that's how it is when you walk the night beat. You always know that if you walk far enough and long enough, and if you keep your eyes open and you listen very carefully, sooner or later in the darkness, you'll find the city's heart. Yeah. Copy, boy.
Night Beat, starring Frank Lovejoy, is produced and directed by Warren Lewis. Tonight's story was written by Larry Marcus, with music by Robert Armbruster. The part of John Bruce was played by Bill Conrad. Jeff Corey was George. Others in tonight's cast were Betty Lou Gerson, Ray Hartman, and Eddie Fields. Frank Lovejoy can currently be seen co-starring with Joan Crawford and Robert Young in Warner Brothers' Goodbye, My Fancy. Listen next week at this time and every...
Check, testing 1, 2, fuck it.
guess that's my cue. Howdy. Howdy. Oh, just a couple of hours ago I was sitting here crying my eyes out, working on the video time machine that grew by another 5 people. Yeah. And so I let my emotions get the better of me, and put some elements into the video time machine that I'm going to have to remove because of copyright. I just couldn't contain myself, and I put in big things. So there you go. Grab my hat. Seconds flat. There you go. Get that shine off my head. All right, people. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Flashback Friday here. It's the 25th of July. Once again, my apologies. I am just a little, I guess, depressed this morning. When I've got to go through so many people's lives, even just little bits, it can really get emotional. So so I was emotional. Today is Flashback Friday. We are going to be talking about Egypt. Egypt, baby. Egyptian. The egg wiped, baby. Egg wiped. So, stuff like, King Tut, eh? King Tut. He's King Tut. Totally, eh? The Tutster. The Tut. The boy king. So, there you go. I'm just slightly disturbed this morning, yeah. I guess we'll just have some silence this morning. I had Jaws 2 on here last night while I was doing my editing. Eventually I just turned the sound off and just watched it while I was dealing with editing. Should we just do bong hits this morning and forego the talking? Yeah. Find a new picture frame. I knew I had one around somewhere. Yeah. She's got a condo made of stona. I'm going to see if this is going to fit in this picture frame here. Because it'll look better in a frame. Ow, its size. Ow. Oh, I just beat the hell out of that burn. Oh. Why did that happen? Right? There was no need for that. Yet, I'm in great pain now. It's like when you break a piece of dried jerky and it gets all kind of whitish on one side. Yeah, that's kind of what happened to my little owie here. And now it's got a blood spot and it's all fucked up. That just sucks. Alright, let me open this guy up. Because I got a condo made of stona. I am gonna try not to hurt myself anymore. It's Friday. So let's try to avoid injury if at all possible. I don't want to go into the weekend with a boo-boo. Right? That's always fun. Mainly because I have to clean houses and wear gloves and all of that. And I don't want to get an infection. So let's see. Here's a piece of paper. Here is a frame. What do you call it? I'm going to flip this one over, take this one apart. Hopefully this is going to work. It would be really nice if this actually really did work. And I could take this page, magazine page that Joey sent me, and actually get it into a real frame. Looks like he's got it on a piece of paper. And is it glue? It looks like he's got it. Okay. So if I trim it, will it fit? Yes. Yes, it will. Why, yes it will. So I am going to take this frame, put this one back together, and save it for a rainy day. Born in Arizona, moved to Babylonia, King Tut. Totally King Tut. Totally Babylonia, eh? Don't you know, you crazy kook? You cuckoo? Cuckoo, cuckoo. Cuckoo. Alright, this one. This one. Put that frame with the other ones. And then, let's see. Alright, gonna take this guy and trim it off of this black. Just outside of the page, so I don't cut the actual magazine page there. Totally, eh? Oh my God, there's a surprise in there. Crazy. Crazy! Alright. So, I still need to trim the edge. A little bit of black on the edge here. outside? You know, you'd think this was my arts and crafts day. But what the hell? Alright, so that's gonna fit. Now we need to take the plastic off of and put it back. And then that on the top. Oh, that's beautiful. Born in Arizona. Moved to Babylonia. Babylonia. Get rid of some more of this black here so it'll fit. Totally Babylonia, eh? It's crazy stuff there, eh? Is it gonna fit, eh? You hoser? Are you gonna fit, you hoser? Or use a hoser, eh? Hoser? 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 Is that it? Is that it, baby? Baby! We're gonna see. Hey, that's it. Perfect fit. Perfecto. Totally, eh? Totally. No, really. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. Yes, 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 yes. Totally. King Tut, eh? And now Babylonia. Bologna. Get a little sticky icky. And stick the thing here down. Bologna. You got a condo made of stone, huh? What the hell is this guy talking about? Is he a tard? Is this guy a tard? He keeps tarding. Yeah, heal me now. A condo made of stone. Okay. Let's see here. Oh yeah. Oi. There it is. Oh, come on, work with me here. Alright, so that's what I did there. I put that one in the middle there. That's cool. Right next to Joey. And there you go, there's that. Well, I'm glad I got that out of the way, because I've been wanting to deal with that. Now I got one of these things here. A mat. Call it a Mark. We call it a Dave. Alright, there we go. So, it is morning time. Let's get to the album of the day. ELO is the album of the day, and it is Secret Messages from 1983. And it has been released a couple of times. And this is one of my favorites. 4 Little Diamonds. Yeah, this is a great one. This is a great one. So there we go. If you get a chance, check it out. Everything else for today is just in book form. I have 2 of these books. I picked them up at a yard sale or bookstore or something, a swap meet. And I thought, ooh, I'll get 2. And then I can give one to somebody. Right? And they are beautiful books. They have a lot of photographs, great colored photographs of artifacts. And what's really neat about this book is that it came out in that era when the whole King Tut thing was going on here in the United States. This is from the National Gallery of Art, Field Museum of Natural History, and the University of Chicago. So this here, I believe, is the program that would have followed the tour. (1976). Yep. So this would have followed the tour, and you would have gotten this book. It would have been sold on tour. From what I understand, a couple of the guys here on the show, WW and LG, actually went and saw King Tut, which is really cool. It's totally cool. So if they show up this morning, we can talk some more about that. So I've got these great King Tut program books here. I also have a couple of great books on Egypt. The Pyramids and the Sphinx. Alright. This is a great one. This one is from 1971. I also have my Egypt volume number 10 of my Encyclopedia America. So we have Egypt inside of there, as well as King Tut and the other pharaohs. The pharaohs. This here is a big book. It's a big book here. Oh, pardon me. This one here is huge. Bloody huge. And it was published in 1978. Awesome sauce. 4 little diamonds. 4. Not just 5, but 4 little diamonds. Alright, he needs to get off of the diamond thing. And then the last book that I have in here is a book that I got recently, and it's not really a book. It's a wall chart of world history, and if you open it up, if I can get it open, it actually does this thing here and opens up like that, and it goes all the way across the wall. It's like 12 feet long or something, and in there we have a lot of history and dates. Most of them are probably proven wrong now, right? Because this is, let's see what the year this is here. 1988. first edition published in 1890, this chart. Wow. So this chart has been updated and updated and updated and updated. Wow. I'm looking for, oh, here's the time along the bottom here. I see how we are here. So this is the book here, and it's a great illustration series here, and it just follows the centuries. Here we got AD. There's Christ right there on the cross. It seems to be that we're also using religion to follow the timeline, which of course is history, because most of history was written because of religion. So we've got a lot of stuff here. 1000 AD. We are really, and then we got 1900. And then it's like just a little bit at the end here is 1900, just a little bit at the end. General Don Francisco Franco, Generalissimo Francisco Franco is still dead. Queen Elizabeth, different rulers, Japanese Empire. Wow. So we've got Ming Dynasty, Qing Dynasty. We've got every one of these little lines here is a place, right? We got Germany, Holland, Saxony, Poland, Sweden, Denmark, Norway, Portugal, Spain. So they all follow this line and evolve into these different places. You know, and right now I'm looking to find America here, because wow, here's Germany, coming Austria, and then returning back to Germany. Austrian Republic. Scotland, England, and then what do we got here? We've got George, Republic of Ireland is spawned. De Gaulle. Where the hell is the United States? People's Republic of Poland, Soviet Union republics. Wow. This thing's a little bit hard to read. Okay, here we go. United States of America at the top, of course. And then at the top, there's just all this smart guy stuff, right? Isaac Newton, Benjamin Franklin. So pretty much, they keep all of the really good stuff at top, and then of course it spawns out of all of the good stuff here from England. It's just kind of an offshoot of England here at the top that becomes the United States of America. Franklin Delano Roosevelt is here, so that therefore in Germany, Hitler should be in here somewhere. Right? Roosevelt, Horthy, Third Reich, there it is, Adolf Hitler. This little red block here is Adolf Hitler. There's de Gaulle there. Ronald Reagan is that red block there. Wow, that's a pretty cool book. Hey, good morning, Joey. You just won an auction. What did you win? Dude, good morning. Good to hear from you, brother. I'm just poking around here, playing with my Egypt stuff, because I like Egypt. I'm an Egyptologist. I am. I am one of those novice Egyptologist people who love to study old Egypt stuff. So what did you win? A pyramid? Did you get something good? Oh, and I finally remembered. It's My Chemical Romance. Not that I could remember. I had to be told it's My Chemical Romance. My daughter is going to see tomorrow night. So there you go. There you go. Oh my goodness. Uh-oh. Is it a Volkswagen Bug? It's a little bug. Like a bug's life. Those little bugs flying around. I love those little bugs. I won't tell her anything. I don't know nothing. Mum's the word. My lips are sealed. Mom and Natalie last night just finished off, or yesterday, finished off Natalie's outfit for tomorrow. Mom, super mom, seamstress, cook, just phenomenon. Her outfit is so fucking cool. She rocks. Well, that's cool, dude. I won't say nothing about it. You don't even have to tell me what and I prefer you don't tell me what it is. So, if that's the case, let's just make it a surprise, dude. So how you been doing, brother? I'm recovering from working on the video time machine last night, which catapulted me back into depression. We lost so many people this week. It's just really, really hard to deal with. And then it makes you think, you know what, every day on this planet we lose like thousands and thousands and thousands of people every day. And we get all emotional over people we don't even know. You know, and that's pretty much where I was last night. I'm sitting here watching various items. I was watching a wrestling match with young Hulk Hogan in 1981, bawling my eyes out. I was watching a video with Ozzy Osbourne and Randy Rhoads doing during a practice session, doing Crazy Train. Bawled my eyes out. Watched some Chuck Mangione. Bawled my eyes out. Watched some Malcolm Jamal Warner. Bawled my eyes out. Went through the list of people and just goes like, oh man, this is crazy. Well, I'm glad you're good, dude. I am glad, because I was a little worried about you. I get worried about people when I can't see them, you know. And so there you go. Oh, check it out! I got your picture up on the wall behind me here. I put the magazine ad into a smaller frame, and while it looks crooked up on the wall, it's just because the camera angle. It's straight. You can see it's parallel with the shelf there. But ooh, fancy pants. Oh, that's so cool. That's so cool, baby. That's awesome sauce. To be young and, you know, excited about doing stuff and friends. It's just awesome. It's been a hell of a week here at the studio. I had my own bout of pain and depression the day before yesterday. And yesterday I was in none too great a condition, trying to recover from just too much. And physically I'm kind of bouncing back a little bit. What the hell was that? I don't know. But emotionally I'm still fucked because of all of these people we just keep losing, right? I'm afraid to look at the news anymore because I'm afraid, oh gosh, somebody else, really? I mean, I was sitting here and I was like going through number 9 or 10, right? And I'm like, enough is enough. And then it pops up, Chuck Mangione passed away, and I'm like, come on, enough. I had to stop. I had to turn off my news program on the computer because I didn't want to know anymore. I just didn't want to know. Yeah. It sucks. September, that's a long time to wait to see it, dude. I'm glad you're going to be able to stay a little, because you know. So I put my van's battery on the charger because it was dead. I didn't drive it for 2 weeks and it died. So I put the charger for 36 hours. Nothing. All I get is a little red brake light comes on. Okay, so I gotta take that battery out, take it down to AutoZone, and get another one. Exchange it for another one. And it bums me out. It's like the 4th or 5th battery since I bought the van. Right? Now, pardon me. When I bought the van, I put a new battery in it. And bought the biggest, best battery I could. And got the warranty on it. So I haven't had to pay for any but that one battery. September 11th. Alright. That's cool. That's cool. It'll give that day a whole new, better meaning. Right? Right? Awesome sauce. Yeah. Yeah. Dude, I cut that thing down. The black paper around the thing that you put on the back. Right? And trim the black and fit it into this frame here so that I could put it up between you and Big Sandy there. And then I've got to get some more photos printed. That's it. That's all I got to do. I got to get some more photos printed. I got 2 more here, but they're sideways. So I got one here, me and Pete Wentz, and then me and Starcrawler. So I got to get some more printed out this way so I can hang them up there, and a couple of more printed out this way too. Portrait and landscape. So there you go. I am whooped. I am whooped this morning. I am. Yeah. I laid down for a few minutes yesterday morning before we went and cleaned a house and did that stuff. And then we just came straight home. We had nothing going on. So we came straight home. I had some lunch, and then I laid down again for a couple of hours so I could get up and eat again and work on the video time machine. And I'll be damned if that video time machine, I got out here this morning and I got 3 copyright hits on it. And the bummer is that I had a Japanese television broadcast of Hulk Hogan in 1981 in Japan wrestling, and it's a great fucking video, 12 minutes long. Denied. I've got this great Crazy Train video, Randy Rhoads, Ozzy Osbourne doing a demo practice jam session. Fucking denied. They even denied my Tickle antiperspirant roll-on commercial from the 1970s. So I gotta go back, and what I'm gonna do is just pull out those elements and replace them with hopefully similar elements. I'd like to get something with Hulk Hogan back in there, and I'd like to get something with Ozzy back in there. I'm just gonna keep trying. And I've got to work on it like right after the show so that I can finish editing it, re-editing it rather, and then save it, which is going to take an hour. And then I got to upload it to YouTube again, which is going to take like 2.5, 3 hours just to upload, and then go through the processing and the checks. And if I take out the things that I'm required to, it should pass okay the second time around. Sometimes it finds an element that it didn't see the first time, And then I'm like, oh, you fucker. But yeah. So Secret Messages. That's the album of the day. ELO, Secret Messages, from 1983. And then we've also got this since we're doing King Tut today, we've got the Steve Martin album with the song King Tut, and he does this great King Tut, and he puts on this little Egyptian costume and does his little King Tut song, you know. It's pretty cool. It's nothing like Walk Like an Egyptian. Walk like an Egyptian. Walk like an Egyptian. Right? That's a good one. What is that? The Bangles or something? Or the Bungholes? Oh man. Oh man. So yeah, like I said, I got these two of these programs from the 1976 World Tour. And these books were for the National Gallery of Art, Field Museum of Natural History, and University of Chicago, New Orleans Museum of Art, Los Angeles County Museum of Art, Seattle Museum of Art, Metropolitan Museum of Art, and the Fine Arts Museum of San Francisco. So these would have been the programs or books that you could have bought at the tour, which is pretty cool. And I picked up an extra one so that I could gift it to someone. So I don't know who, and I don't know why. I don't know where. I'm going to have to heat up my coffee, so I'll be right back. While I'm gone, think about something. And then I'll try to, you can give me a clue and I'll try to figure it out. Totally, eh? So, you know how when you're clicking through some of the streaming channels, like, I don't know, what is it, Prime, and it goes dunk, 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 right? So, we're sitting here day before yesterday, and I'm just dying. I'm in so much fucking pain. My neck is just feels like it's 1,000,000 pounds, right? And I'm just sitting there on the couch, and I have no appetite. I have no patience. I am just, I am frustrated. And so we're going to sit there on the couch, and my wife and I are going to sit there and watch something. And I'm like, she's boom, 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 boom. And she's about 5 minutes to boom, boom, boom. And I'm like, honey, please just put anything on. I don't care what it is. It's just the whole thing is just not working for me, right? She's like, okay, so she boom, 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 finds something, she puts it on, and I'm just sitting there doubled over in pain, trying to get my act together so that I can eat something. And all of a sudden, I hear Ponch and John talking on their motorcycles, and I'm like, oh. And she put on an episode of Chips. And I was like, it totally was like physical therapy, pain management. It totally helped, right? I don't know how she knew, or even if she did, but it was like, that was exactly what I needed. And by the end of that episode, I had eaten and was starting to feel a little bit better, you know. And then that evening, started pain meds again. And by the next day, started to feel better again. You know. So here's some painkiller for you. Totally. All right, because that's what I do here in the morning. Is I smoke a bong. So, my encyclopedia here, right? Which this particular encyclopedia is from the 1980s, and this is a early 1990s copyright edition because I wanted it to encompass all of the 80s. So this is perfect. Egg wiped, baby. Preservation. Wow. So they built a dam in Egypt, right? In the 20th century. And when they did this, they chopped up a bunch of monuments into pieces and relocated them away from the Nile because the Nile was going to get bigger and flood, right? Wow. And here is one of the photos of that happening. And you can see those guys up there cutting that head and then sticking it back in. That's crazy. That's just fucking wackadoo. The fact that you could take historic monuments like that that are built in a specific location for a specific purpose and just relocate it. Nah, let's just move it. Let's just cut it all up into pieces and we'll move it with big giant cranes. Right? Mm-hmm. Good old King Tut. So much that we have no clue about, you know, even though we think we have clues about what all of this Egypt stuff is, they're still trying to figure it out. They're still coming along and they're saying, no, that was wrong. We thought it was that way for a couple of 100 years, but we were wrong. We were wrong. And they're still wrong. They're going to be wrong for a long time. Right? Now they're talking about the pyramids being these big giant power generators, right? Well, wouldn't that be something? That under the desert, beneath those pyramids and those structures and those plazas, that there are more structures beneath in the sand, right? Like they scraped the sand, built these stone structures, and then let the desert take it back over, and then built on top of that, right? Crazy. Right? It's like that movie Damnation Alley, where Las Vegas gets eaten up by the desert. I think they did that in I think they did it in a Day of the Dawn of the Dead movie. They did it in a one of those video game movies with Mia Jovovich, right? But wouldn't that be something if it would totally be like Egypt or the desert in just eating up Las Vegas and then coming along later and just building right on top of it, right? How many times has that happened? How many, baby? I don't know. 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 I don't This is one of those I'm the boss things, right? This is what the boss man wears. Those are his tools of being a boss man, right? One of those is a staff, and one of those is, I believe, this little one over here with the string or fabric or whatever it is hanging off. I believe that was to shoo away flies, right? And to slap your servants. And then the other one, the hook thingy there, that little hook, that was to pull guys off the stage when they were doing bad, and they're like, "Oh, you suck, get out of here." Right? I think Lenny and Squiggy got those a couple of times, right? Totally, eh? I'm still bummed about the video time machine and having to go back and re-edit and remove stuff. That's a bummer. That's a bummer. It's a total bummer. All right, Joey, what have you been up to? What's been going on? Talk to me here. Where you been? What's up? How's work? How's the family? How's Trix? Yeah. Because I get worried. I get worried when people aren't around, and you know, because I've gone through the whole thing with depression and not feeling 100%. I've suffered from depression my whole life, so I hate feeling like somebody else is having a difficult time. So there you go. Talk to me. I'm always here. You know what? A lot of it is that nobody talked to me when I was younger. Most of my life, I would feel like this, and there would be no one around. Nobody. I'd be right in the middle of 1,000 people, and there'd be no one around to talk to. And they didn't even see what I was going through. You know, every once in a while, there'd be somebody in my life who would actually recognize that there was something going on. Oh, work is shit. My best associate is gone for 3 weeks. 12 hours straight this week. Oh. Twice. Yeah, I hear you. I hear you. Anything you want to talk about? Feeling down? The world just gets me down. Life. Everything. I get overwhelmed with too much. My personal life doesn't really have any issues. Walked 10 miles last night. There you go. There you go. And that probably helped a little bit, but probably only helped with like sleep. I could not sleep last night. I put my video time machine to save, and it was like, okay, it's going to be another 45 minutes. So I found a movie that had 45 minutes left on it. And I went and laid down on the couch, put the movie on, turned the lights off, turned the air conditioner on, and woke up, and the movie was over, came over here, was after 1, and I saved it onto a file, and then loaded it onto YouTube, and then went and lied down in bed. Oh, I was in bed. I should have just stayed on the freaking couch, because I got into bed and could not sleep at all. I laid there for 2 hours before I finally dozed off. And then had to get up and take a piss. And then laid there and finally dozed off, and the alarm went off. And I was like, this is fucked. I feel like at some point I might just get done here and go lay the fuck back down, right? Fuck breakfast. I'm just wiped out. My eyes. I was sitting here this morning just about ready to go live, Mike, and I loaded a bong hit, and just as I loaded the bong hit, my eyes went and went all squinty. And I was like, oh yeah, you're still high from last night. But what the hell, I'll get high again. I gotta scare that pain away somehow. I had to start using my cane again. A couple of days ago I fell down in the house here. One minute I'm in bed lying down trying to take a nap, and the next minute I'm lying on the floor looking up at my wife and daughter. So I keep the cane here in the house now so that when I start to feel a little bit wobbly, I can just use that to get around. And then I got to take it with me when I leave the house. But I'm starting to feel a little bit better. But it was that one day I was like, all right, I'm going to go without pain meds. And I weaned myself off the night before, started to feel like shit the next day, just as little as possible. By halfway through the day, I was fucking dying. And then I tripped myself up or something and just was lying on the ground. You know, my whole right side's fucked up, my knees fucked up. But I'm okay now. I'm okay now. It's just a little sore. But I've just resigned to the fact that I'm just going to be walking funny for the rest of my life. I'm just, you know, usually when I go out, I can suck it up and walk normal, you know, because I don't want to, you know, and now I can't anymore. Now I just go out, I'm limping, I'm dragging my ass, I'm walking funny, my hips fucked up, my back's fucked up, things are askew. So I just go with it. Fuck it, give me the cane, I'll go with it, I'm old. Fuck it. So I've just given into it, you know. Sure, when I smoke weed I feel young until I have to physically do something. So I'm trying to avoid physically doing stuff. I was feeling like crap yesterday, trying to recover from the day of no medication. And we went and cleaned the house yesterday, and I'm just waddling around this house, moving so fucking slow. But because I got everything mapped out the way I do stuff, we were still in and out of there in an hour and a half. So that was pretty cool. Actually, it was closer to an hour. But I digress. Do you go out and actually walk, huh? Because out here in the desert we don't do that. Natalie's got her walking thing out there, her treadmill. And I would expect that she uses it mostly in the evening, at night, mostly when we're asleep. And she needs to wind down. She's going to be so excited today. She did her hair last night. And they're driving out tomorrow to go to LA, so that's going to be so fun. Ah, that's so fun. The kids, the girls, 4 girls going out. You also go rucking. Ruck. I don't know what that is. Is that code for something? Is that one of those nicknames, slang for something? What's rucking? Oh, it's supposed to be this. Because I don't know what rucking is. I am not a rucker. I do not ruck. I have not, and I will not ever ruck. I don't know what it's walking, but with weights. Oh, okay. I used to do that. I didn't know it was called rucking. What I was doing, it probably wasn't called rucking. It was probably just called walking with weights. But you know, you guys, you're always coming up with these new terms for old stuff. I actually have a couple of weights that I'll put out there for Natalie, so that when she's walking, she can, you know. It's great because all you need is a couple of dumbbells, and if you're just walking and you're just kind of turning and coming up, lift it up, turn it, put it down, and lift it up, and then just turn it, and then you're working your forearm, you're working your whole, pretty much your whole upper body, right? You can do stuff while you're walking. Yeah, that's totally cool. It's a great workout. Totally. I don't work out anymore. I work in. I just work inward. The muscles on my insides is what I work on. My memory muscles. Not the muscle memory, but my memory. It's all up here. My memory muscles. So I work on remembering. That's it. I work on the past. I dare not forget. I dare not forget it. Hear me now and walk with weights later. You mother rucker. Totally. I'm still trying to get geared up to start getting geared up for camping. I got nothing. I got a dead battery in my van. So at this point, what's the point, right? I gotta grab tents, I gotta clean stuff, I gotta repack stuff, I gotta organize things, I gotta go through and make sure I have everything I need and get what I don't. Totally. I think what I might do is take one set of walkie-talkies to the reunion as one of those raffle auction things that, depending on how many people show up, I might raffle off or auction a couple of items, just because that was part of my original plan. And if I get enough people there to bid on stuff, then a pair of 1980s Radio Shack realistic walkie-talkies. Oh, hell yeah. Some magazines, some books, some records, some tapes, some knickknacks from back then. I might put together a stereo, right? An actual stereo to do kind of an auction raffle thing. I'm just unsure, The closer I get, the less I care, really. And it sucks. Because I really, really wanted this to be a huge thing. And my life has taken so many turns in the last year that at this point, I'm just hoping I make it just to go camping. Regardless of what everybody else is going to do. I'm just hoping I get to go camping again. I'll be alone. There'll be a couple of guys in town that'll stop by. But I'm assuming that I'm going to be there for 3 or 4 nights by myself, just hanging out, Maybe having a little evening with 1 or 2 people. I don't expect what I expected initially. Initially, I expected hundreds of people, and it was going to be this out-of-control event. And now I don't know anything. I've still got over 20 people claiming to be coming far and wide, near and far. And I've still got, hundreds of people interested and almost 1,000 people invited. So I don't know what's going to happen. I just don't. The last update was just to let people know, hey, it's a BYO thing, bring your own everything. Because I am extracted from responsibility at this point. And that's cool. Because I haven't got the wherewithal to pull it off anymore. Physically, mentally. I'm just too slow and broken. That's all there is to it. If I had gotten even 2 people to be willing to help and carry out even just a couple of small specific tasks, it would have been invitations and securing RSVPs and helping to raise money. And then I would have been able to do everything else. But I couldn't wear every hat, and nobody else wanted to help, so that's fine. I can get it. You know, I understand where people are coming from. A lot of people just expect stuff, and they want it easy, and they don't feel they have to do anything but throw down some money, right? And I'm not like that. I mean, I'm looking for people to get involved, make it a family, friends, big hometown thing with people getting involved the way we used to. And people are like, no, I'm going to Uber over there. I'm going to stay at a vacation house, and I'm going to, order in, and we might stop. That's the way it looks now. Like, people are going to try to remain as uninvolved as possible. There are probably people who have decided to come, and then now their plans are, we're going to do everything else, and then we might stop by the event to see if it's going on. And I'm afraid there's going to be too much of that. Too many people stopping by for a couple of minutes, missing everybody else. Oh yeah, he was just here. Oh yeah, they said they'd come back. I figure it's going to be like that. Yeah, they're going to Disneyland. They're going to do this. They're going to go wine taste. They're going to do this. They're going to go check out the area. They're staying in another town over. So no expectations, no demands. At first, I was expecting it to just be the best thing in the world, and now I'm just expecting to go camping. That's it. Camping. I love to camp. It's hard, but it's fun. It's relaxing. It's hard to get there and set it up. It's hard to get everything ready and to go and set up camp, and then eating is hard because it's outside and you got to do more. Everything is a little, but there's a lot of downtime. And it's that downtime that I'm looking for, right? I want some just sitting around reading, just sitting around strumming on the old guitar, just sitting around talking to somebody, right? So that's what I'm looking forward to. Damn everything else. I'll sit around in the evening by myself if nobody shows up to party. I'll just sit in the van and put on a fucking movie, Fuck it. Fuck it. Use up another new battery. Right? Yeah, baby. Wow, it's 6 o'clock already. The 25th of July, 2025. At some point this evening, I am going to try to get that video time machine redone and booted. I have to, because there's 11 RIPs in it, and I have to have this done and out of the way so I can work on the next one, which is just a week away. And maybe it's because I'm paying too close attention to the obits, but there's a lot of people going. A lot of people. And I'm only focusing on people that had something to do with pre-90s, just the 80s and before, right? And even then, wow. I mean, Malcolm Jamal Warner is like the youngest. Wow. Born in 1970. Anywho. Wait. Oi, mate. At some point, I'll have to get my coffee cup warmer back in here. I had to clear it off for all this book crap here, and the extension cord is still disconnected. I had to use it for the battery charger. Pointless effort. What I should have done is when I parked it I should just run an extension cord out there, an old, tough extension cord, and then put the battery charger on it so that it's fighting whatever is draining it. So that's what I'm going to be doing, is getting a new battery, putting it in there, and then when I know I'm not going to be driving it, just keep the charger on it. That's it. I could disconnect it, but every time I disconnect it, I get to deal with the stupid engine light and the resetting of all of the crap in the computer. So it's bad enough that stupid thing dies all the time, and then the battery just decides to just give up. There's something draining the power in that vehicle. There's something, a short, or something that's on a switch somewhere, and I don't know what it is. You know, sometimes I see that it's the toggle for the lock or the windshield is stuck in one position, and I think that might do it. There's a little fog light switch sometimes that's on. I don't have fog lights. They go to bare wires down underneath, which means that could be just a drain. I'm just going to have to try a couple of different things. Maybe pull that toggle and yank the wires off, and then tape them off. Pull a fuse in the back stereo, see if that was it. I don't know, man. I used to be good with diagnosing this kind of crap in a car. I would always be really close to getting it right. But not anymore. I haven't worked on cars for several years, and I'm just over it. So last night, or yesterday, I'm hobbling around with my cane in the house looking for something to eat, right? And my wife and daughter are in there talking about my daughter's outfit. And my wife is going to hand sew some stuff, right? And she's sitting there and she's got this little needle and she's got the thread and she's like, Natalie here. And she's like, Natalie's like, my eyes are worse than yours. And I said, give me that. I know how to thread the, and I'm just being an idiot, right? I'm assuming that I'm going to be even worse and I'm not even going to be able to hit it. But I'm like, give me that. I can thread the eye of a needle, no problem. That's easy stuff. And I pick it up and I do this and I go, and it goes right through and I pull it and we're all amazed. My wife and daughter are like, oh? And they're laughing and I'm laughing because I didn't expect it to go that way. But it was like the first shot. And I said, told you. Handed it to him, all proud of myself. And I turned around and just started laughing. I didn't expect that. I expect to be going, do it. But that's, you know, that's our house. That is our house in a nutshell right there. That's pretty much every day is that kind of those kind of interactions between us. Just simple, silly little family stuff. I love that because I never had that as a kid. That kind of shit always had to deal with something weird, right? Simple family stuff was always weird. My mother was just psychoneurotic and hated me, so anytime there was anything going on in the house, she was always ready to just snap. My father called her Maximum Misty, Maximum, because if she was either super happy or super flipped out or she was always, whatever emotion she was having it at the extreme. And it drove me fucking crazy. I had to leave the house at 15 because she couldn't just say, hey, when you left the house this morning, when somebody left the house this morning, they left the door open and a dog got out and I had to chase the dog. The response would have been, oh wow. If it was me, I'm sorry. I didn't even realize it. I'll make sure that doesn't happen again, right? Instead of an interaction like that, right? It's me leaving for school and not knowing if I was the one who left the door ajar. But a dog gets out, and my mother has to get out and chase a dog up and down the street in her nightgown, right? In the morning. She spends all day sitting in the school bus motorhome, sitting there, pissed off, just smoking and smoking and smoking all morning long, all day long until I get home from school. Just thinking about all of this, how much she hates me and how much she's going to scream at me. And as soon as I walk in, she comes and she runs from the back and just starts screaming at me. And I'm like, whoa. And she starts fucking, you let the dog out there, right? I just run around my, and I'm like, okay, if it was me. And she's like, and I'm like, oh, fuck. And I threw my hands up in the air, which hit the ceiling of the bus, because the ceiling of the bus is right here. It's a school bus. And she hauls back to hit me, right? Because I freaked out like this. So she hauls back to hit me. And I'm like, what? And I said, you know what? Fuck you. And I just grabbed my shit, turned around, and walked out. And that was it. I was done with her, done with everything, But she was always like that my whole life. Maximum. Everything she did, she was always maxed out emotionally. And I had to deal with it myself. Being a party to that, I would max out when I would get angry, right? When I would be happy. And it was a symptom of my depression. And I had to recognize it, and I had to control it, and I had to not. It took me decades to not flip out over something stupid. And I still deal with it today, but I work real hard to not flip out over shit that would have just made me fucking crazy. And I got that from her, right? And I hate that about me, and I hated that about her. So that was the moment in my life where I realized that she and I were never ever going to get along, ever. And I look back at times before that, back to when I was just a little kid, 4 years old, 5 years old. And she was so distant, right? She was just so fucking distant. Like, she did not want me in her life, right? It was hard to understand as a kid. Sometimes she would pretend to like me, but most of the time she'd just be, That's when I really started to figure out that I was a bastard kid, and he wasn't really my father. And she hated me for that, because her family hated her for that, and his family hated her for that, because she was married to him and had 2 kids, but this middle kid was a bastard, and he came out of some kind of unholy union, right? So, I wish I could have just found out, because I look at this comment here, it's walking with weights. I've been walking with weights my whole life. I've been walking with the weight of that my whole life. And I just wish I could have gotten some kind of yes or no or answer or the truth, some kind of true story out of them, because they never came clean about everything, anything at all, and they never wanted to tell me. They alluded to a bunch of shit, but they would never come right out and just say, hey, look, this is how you came to be, which would have answered so many questions. It would have set me up for a whole more bunch of questions, but it would have answered so many. That explains so much. That's why I'm this and I'm that, and now I just have these more questions. So I think the most I'm going to be able to do is a DNA test, right? And just try to find out whether or not I'm a sibling or a half-sibling, because I can do me and my brother, and then we'll know. I'm pretty sure that my siblings already know. I'm sure that they know, my cousins know, my aunt knew. There are probably some of my friends that know, because they were close with my brother and sister and mother and father. So, but I don't know. Nobody's ever told me a damn thing, and nobody will admit to anything, even though they get really squirrely when I start asking questions. So, there you go. She used to say things to me like, "You're just like your father." But it wasn't for things that were like my father, like the guy who was supposed to be my father. So that would make me wonder. It was more like she was saying, "You're just like my father. You're just like your father. You're just like my father," which always sent me into a weird quandary, right? Well, what the hell was she? What was she alluding to, right? What the hell was she talking about? Someday I'll do a show and do some DNA tests and then do some results, and we'll figure it out. Because I just don't know. I just don't know. I wish I could have slept last night. I think had I some sleep in me, I'd be better equipped this morning to do more than just sit here and go, 2 days ago, all I wanted was a cigarette. A cigarette and a shot. A Boilermaker, right? A cigarette and a Boilermaker. Shot of whiskey, beer chaser, and a cigarette. Give me a blindfold. Just put me out of my fucking misery. I'm good. I got a cigarette and a beer. I'm leaving my body. Take me now. I was so fucking out of it. I'm slightly recovered. I'm still take me now. I'm still in the take me now mode. But I'm more likely to try to invest in preserving myself a little longer. When the pain gets that bad, I'm like, fuck it. Fuck it. I'd rather not be here. I'd rather be just fuck it, you know. Heart attack, take me now. And I hate that. I hate feeling like that. I really do. When it's there, I just wallow in it because that's what I got. That's all I got is pain and misery. You know, when I put the pain and misery on the couch over there and I'm able to separate myself from it a little bit, then it's not so bad. I can deal with it. I can, you know, I can want to go on. But yeah, when it's just all pain and discomfort, it's like, what's the point? What is the point? You know, which doesn't bode well for the future. when it gets so bad that nothing I do can make the pain and discomfort go away. That needs heat. I better heat that up. Yeah. Oh man, I am so upset about the video time machine. I really, really wanted those elements to work. That 15, 12 minutes of wrestling was just so bitchin'. And that Randy Rhoads and Ozzy video, you know. I can probably find something to replace that. But God, that wrestling match, that Japanese wrestling match. Yeah, when you, I know what you mean, Joe. When you just start feeling like, fuck it, God, everything is just fucked, and I'm just sick of it. Like, fucking take me now, right? That's why I put that video in the video time machine, and it is called A Desperate Exit, and it is about Malcolm Jamal Warner's character in a 45-minute movie, and his character commits suicide. And it's everybody in his family and friends and school and the town, everybody trying to deal with his desperate exit. And I've been feeling a bit desperate of late, so I put that in there, and that I can keep. That's got no copyright hit on it, and I'm happy for that. But I've got to replace those other elements, and I want to keep them similar. I still want to keep something in there with Hulk Hogan. So, and I hope that what I might do is find a bunch of elements that I could replace these with, put them together in a short video of just those elements, load it onto YouTube, and get a copyright check on just those elements. Get the copyright check, and then just delete the video. And I may have to do that just to speed up, because I don't want to save the video out and load it up to YouTube for 2.5, 3 hours to have it come back and say, nope, do it again. Because that's going to mean there's going to be no video time machine tonight, and that's, I'll have to do it. I'll just have to do it, you know. So, the video time machine is good therapy for me, especially with the obituaries. It can get a little sad and depressing, but I also get to reflect upon the lives of these people who we've recently lost, and that kind of helps me, you know. It does help me to see my own mortality, but at the same time, it lets me know that, you know, everybody poops, everybody dies. It's just the way it is, you know. I mean, most people nowadays, they run around like they're going to live forever. Oh my God, somebody died. Oh my God, somebody's dying. Oh my God, we're all going to die. And it's like, they act like that's unheard of. How dare you think that I might die? Don't talk about death. We're never going to die. You know, don't worry, honey, you'll never die. You'll live forever. It's like, what are you lying for? You know, what are you lying to yourselves for? We're not going to live forever. Whatever fantasies you got going on inside your head, that's fine. But reality is we're mortal. We're born, we live, we die. We come from darkness, we go back to darkness. That's it. Flat out. You know. And that's actually a comfort, knowing that everybody's born, everybody lives for whatever time they live, and everybody dies, everybody goes back. We come out of nothing, we go back to nothing. You know. That's the way it is. And if you can get a hold of that and be comfortable with that, then that helps you deal with the reality of dying. That's what was great about learning about death and dying in college, you know, and my daughter taking the same course from the same instructor that I did, so that we're both on the same page, you know. And I've always been upfront with my daughter about death and dying, you know. No, we're all going to die someday. That's it. That's just the way it is. You know, we're born, we live, we die. We're born, we live, we get real old, and then we die. You know, and I've always been upfront with her about that. Because you watch TVs and movies and stuff. Well, what happened? Well, they died. Well, what's that all about? Don't worry about it. It's never going to happen to you. Well, yeah, what's that about? Those parents who, you know, don't worry. You're going to go to heaven. Don't worry about it. And then it's like, oh, okay. You know, and then at some point in their adult life, they have to deal with death and dying, and they're like, oh, I can't deal with it. I'm never going to die. Don't talk about death. You know. And I think that's a disservice to everyone. You know. That should be taught in school, one of the first things, you know, how to love each other, take care of each other, talk about death and dying, and what it is to be alive, and what it is to die, and how to make sure that you can avoid death by taking care of yourself. And you know, and everybody just wants to live in these little fantasy worlds, even in school, you know, school, church, politics, whatever. It's all the same. You know, there's all these little things to keep you from the reality of what's going on. you know. I mean, nowadays it's all about distraction. We got every kind of distraction in the world at our fingertips, in every venue, you know, near and far. And it's all distraction, 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 you know. And there's so much desensitization with death nowadays. Senseless, pointless, meaningless death, you know. Back to the superhero movies and Hollywood and a million, thousands of people dying or whatever, you know, in some stupid superhero battle, you know. And we're okay with that because it's the superheroes, you know. It all gets into your psyche, man. It all gets into your id, into your brain. It's always there, you know. And you just get desensitized to a bunch of people dying. So then when a bunch of people die all at once, we're like, shit happens. Move on, you know. So that we'll just be okay. We'll allow it. Don't worry, let those people die. That's where it's headed. Just let them die. Don't worry about it. We got more. And it should be to the point to where, you know what, life is too important and too fragile. Let's make sure that nobody dies. And in that respect, let's also make sure that we control the population too, so we don't have to worry about wanting 1 million people to die. Well, we need 1 million people to die. Hand out a disease, that'll do it. Oh, cool. Yeah, that's right. We'll poison a bunch of people and kill them off real quick. Or, oh, let's have a war. Oh, that's the best one. Let's have a war. Well, how are we going to fight? Well, my God's better than your God. Oh, that's it. It's on now, bitch. Right? It's just fucking crazy. Crazy. Life is really important because it's brief. It's here and it's gone. You know? It's what we got. I get a little bit of life, you get a little bit of life, everybody gets a little bit of life. It's not like we live forever. You know? We need to respect life, not just our own, but geez, everybody around us. Most of the people are out in the world and would just rather treat other people like they're in a video game and just beat the fuck out of them, drive over them, take what they got, and move on and get a high score. That's an alarm. No, we're going to clean a house today, so she don't have to get up now. She'll probably be up in the next hour anyway, but she don't have to get up now. I was the one that was up late. Well, Natalie was up later, but I was up late last night. I was just up. I didn't sleep for shit. I gotta do something about that. I gotta do something about that. You know me? Do you know me? Arr. Arr. Poor, poor, pitiful me. You know? And I used to feel like that all the time. Oh man, woe is me, poor me, sad little me. And I don't do that anymore. I don't feel like, I feel like, wow, poor world, sad world. It's this world that's got me troubled, right? I mean, I'm going to be shuffling off here soon, and I'm looking around at what's going to be here when I'm gone, right? What my daughter has to be here, and I'm like, oh man. Now that scares me. I'm just hoping that she can navigate this fucked up world better than I did, because I didn't get along with it most of the time, and it seems like she's, even though she's reluctant to, she's able to get along with the world and fit in a little better than me. She has anxieties about it. She can't turn it off either and just go to sleep. So I just want her to find a happy place in her head and her life that makes it possible for her to get along with the world, however it is. you know, because it is crazy. It is my only hope is that before I'm gone, we can get to that place. We can get to that place that's away from it all, and it's safe and it's quiet, and hopefully with some trees and fresh air and water and a nice climate. Because that's all I really want, you know. This is a nice, safe little place. And I just don't feel safe in the world anymore. I don't feel at home in the world anymore. I never really did, but it's just gotten so... I just want to take myself out. I just want to, you know, and that's going to happen eventually anyway. But I'd rather be somewhere else, right? I know you can't run from it, but I need to get further away from civilization, further away from the madness, seclusion would be ideal. And I don't think I can find it out here. And even out here in the desert, I don't want to find it here. I don't want to be out here in the desert. You know? It's too hot. There's no trees. There's no water. There's no grass. There's that, but it's at the park. And what, we got to go to a park to find that? No. I got to heat this up. I'll be right back. Don't go anywhere. Be right back. Boy, mate. Oh, so yesterday morning, of course, was the power outage. So I did my pre-show, and then about 5, I went live mic and sat down, and after about 5 minutes or so, the power just went off, right? And I'm sitting here looking at 2 laptops with no electricity, just my laptops on battery power. And I'm like, oh, shit. And I thought, for a second, I thought, oh, I'm still on. And then I realized my modem was off, my audio-video mixer was off, the cameras were off except for one that had a battery in it, right? And so I went live on my telephone for about a half an hour, waiting for the power to come on and then for the modem to reboot and all of that. So I aimed my phone at my laptop and put on my technical difficulties video, which was actually pretty cool. And I just kind of sat here in the dark. I almost expected it to happen again this morning. Sometimes they do things in the middle of the night or early in the morning, and they won't notify us. They'll just do it, and they know that they're just going to be doing a quick thing, so they don't tell anybody. And people who are using wall clocks and shit to wake up are just fucked, right? All of our clocks went south. The only good thing is that I use my phone most of the time for an alarm. But I almost expected it this morning, to get up and to start my show and have the exact same thing happen at the same time, just because that's the way they do it out here. Thankfully that didn't happen. Last of the coffee. I gotta pick up some coffee. It's Friday, so I'm not in a rush. I only really drink coffee, worry about drinking coffee, Monday through Friday. It's 5 a.m. to, whenever it's done. Yeah. Stupid battery in the van. Man, that thing's got me pissed off. Stupid. Let's see. So the Cheers board game, I might take that with me for the reunion event. And I'm not sure if I'm going to, if it's just a few of us sitting around, I may say, you guys want to play Cheers, the board game? And then we'll set it up and play. Otherwise, I may just leave it in the pack because it's still wrapped up in cellophane, the original packing. I may just leave it like that, and if there's like a bunch of people there, then I'll just say, okay, the bidding starts at, $20. Who wants to buy it? $15 is about the price for a regular board game, $20 for a classic board game, right? So the bidding will start at $20. Who wants to? I think I got it at a thrift shop or something for like $2 or something. Stuff like that. I may take a typewriter and some typing paper and a ribbon and one of these little brushes with the eraser, and take one of those all set up, ready to use. Some people collect typewriters. Some people like to have one in their home set up. Oh, ooh, look. And they work. So I may just take one of those and auction it off, raffle it off, Who knows? Who the hell knows? I don't know. I figure I'll get together a box full of a bunch of items and a few other things, a case of 8 tracks that are, refurbished. Maybe an 8-track player, some of my classic records that I have doubles of. I wouldn't want to give up like my Simon electronic game, too precious. I've got a 1982 computerized chessboard with the magnetic pieces. Now that's something that I'm not a huge chess player. I just like it because it's 1982, battery powered, computerized, It was a big deal back then. So, yeah. I'll just kind of go around and curate a little box of stuff and then just play it by ear, just play it by ear. I wish that I could have taken my Kramer and gotten it repaired so that I could have taken that with me, but it's too close to the event to get it repaired and order parts or anything. So I'm not going to worry about that. I'll just take one of my acoustic guitars, probably this one here, this little Inner City Ibanez here. It's a little smaller than the big deep one that's my daughter's, and it's not an electric like the one on the wall here, but it's a good campfire guitar. So I'll take that one, stick it in a bag, and stick it in the van. So that'll be cool. I'm planning a camping trip of 1. I'm going to take me and a guitar and some food and a book and some movies and just go park on the beach and set up a huge campsite on the beach and have a fire every night. And if people show up, people show up. And if not, that's fine. I will probably get some kind of light and aim it at my Huya sign. And what I'll do is I'll hang my Huya sign on one of the canopies in a poster frame. And it's just going to be a big, giant hoo-yah, and put a light on it so it's lit up. And use that to tell people where the reunion is. Right? Poster frames aren't that expensive. I can cut it down to fit just the poster, because it's kind of a long, skinny poster. So that'll be cool. That's a good idea. And then at some point, I'll auction that thing off. If enough people show up, I'll just auction it off. You know, say, okay, look, we're going to do an auction on Saturday night, because Saturday should be the biggest night of people being there, if people are going to be there. So I'll let people know, look, I'm here, and I'm going to do an auction. And we'll auction off a bunch of items from the past. And like that. And then I'm going to take the yearbooks that were lent to me, just in case somebody's going to be there who they belong to, and I can return them. Otherwise, they're just going to go back into my bookshelf here, and I'm going to tuck cards in each one with the name and address of who they belong to, so that if something were to happen to me, they would get back to their proper owners. So there you go. One girl who lent me her, was it four yearbooks. Very grateful, and she's an awesome girl. Somebody else left them here, and at this point I could give a shit if he gets them back. If he shows up, I'll gladly give them back, up his ass. But I don't care if they ever make it back to the owner. Not a big deal. Not a big deal. So I'll probably just go long today again, because it seems like some of the irregulars like to show up late. And so far it doesn't sound like the missus is going to be waking up anytime soon. So there you go. So I can just kind of hang out and do what I'm doing. Wait for somebody to ask me about Egypt, and then I'll look something up or show you a picture. Hey man, did King Tut ever have any weird, like, preteen sexual devices or something? Probably. I don't think I can find it in my encyclopedia or Egypt book. But yeah, they had some weird sexual practices. So he might have had some kind of like goat skin condom or something. Who knows? It's kind of scary to think that it doesn't take too long before your grave is no longer sacred, and then you're just food for tomb raiders, man. Even today, there's people running around different places digging up graves that are only 100 or a couple of 100 years old, right? And robbing, stealing stuff from people. People were buried with their shit because, they wanted to take it with them to the afterlife. And it's like people who believe in the afterlife are robbing people who took things with them to the afterlife. So therefore, they're robbing the afterlife. I mean, it's like, do they have no respect, right, for their own religion, for their own beliefs? No. It's all about the money, It's all about the money. Everywhere you go. People are just slaves. And at this point, we make ourselves slaves. We're born slaves. We turn ourselves over to people, a corporation, a government, and just become a slave to an ideal or an idea, right? You're never going to change. You're never going to think any other way because you're a slave to this way of thinking. There's no other possibility in your mind. So therefore, you're locked in, and that's it. That's it. But I can't fathom thinking that way, being so 100% positive about anything, right? That's just inherently wrong, right? To just be so, yes, this is it, you can't change my mind. And you get, especially in religion, you get those people, or in politics. I'm gonna be a publican because my daddy and my granddaddy was all publicans. And then all of a sudden, at some point, it's like that publican decides to change to a crat, you know? And it's like, what happened, you know? Or somebody's, you know, raised this religion their whole life, and then at some point they decide, you know what? That religion over there looks like it's got more for me than this one does. This one's too confining. This one doesn't work for me. So they're so 100% set in believing that this is it. There's nothing other than this. You cannot, there's no way you're going to ever convince me, hey, look at that religion over there. You know what? Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'll go try that one out for a while. Now, this is the religion for me. You can't get me to change. I'm here to stay. I have faith 100%, except, what's that guy over there? What's he praying to? You know, fickle humans. But don't try to tell them that. Don't try to talk them out of, you know, believing 100% in something. Can you just maybe think possibly that there might be another? No, don't even talk about it. No way. Such an old school way of thought, to just have no conception at all that there might be something different. This just may not be all of it. Maybe there's more. Maybe if you saw the whole thing, you'd be like, no, this is not for me. You know, or yeah. But who knows? I just can't see giving myself over 100% to anything, any belief, any way of life or doing things or thinking or whatever. You know? It hurts the psyche to think like that. For me to think like that, you know? I'm open, man. I'm like, talk to me, man. Change my view, change my way of thinking, you know. If there's something wrong with the way I'm thinking, well, then talk to me about it. If you can logically convince me to think a little differently in this direction, then I will. If you can come along and convince me 100% to believe in this, I'm still not going to, but I'm going to be more on that side, you know, unless I'm convinced the other way, you know. And usually I'm just on the side of intelligence and kindness, courteousness, courtesy, peacefulness, you know, you want to go the other way, and I'm usually not going to go, no matter how good it sounds. Well, is there violence involved? Well, yeah. Well, then no. No. Because there's, you know, violence is, you know, when logic fails. And there's always got to be a better answer than violence, you know. Sometimes you don't want there to be a better answer. You want the violence to be there because you need to let it out, right? But that's not good either. Then you're just giving yourself over to that. Over to that. And that's not right. Because when there's violence, there's always somebody, usually the little guy, is getting fucked. Is getting fucked over. Is getting brutalized for no other reason than somebody can't control their rage or their anger. Right? And I've been on both sides of that, man. I've been screaming in somebody's fucking face, wanting to beat their fucking head in. Because they were just fucking ignorant. Right? And I can't give it over to that, you know. put myself in that guy's place. Do you want some idiot fucking screaming at you that he's smarter, right? No. No matter how stupid you are. So there's always a way to figure it out. You know, you just have to calm down and fucking figure it out. You know, whether you figure it out up here or figure it out with, you know, socially, whatever. Yeah. But I've often said, man, you push me to the fucking point, and it's pick one, the prison or the morgue, because one of us is going in, you know, pick one. And I hate feeling like that. I hate thinking like that. But I get driven there all the time, and I have to talk myself down, back myself out. Oh, don't go there. Don't feel like that. Don't think like that. You know. I get these visceral emotions where it hurts me so much inside to see people acting on such an ignorant level, and just not even caring about other people, that it makes me not want to care about them so much that I just want to hurt them, you know. And that's not right. That's wrong. Those are my own shortcomings, you know. I don't see my sleep getting any better in the near future because of what's going on in the world. Not to mention what's going on in my own life. But I hope, you know. I remain hopeful. It's not easy. It's not easy at all. Well, it's just about 7 o'clock, and it looks like I'm going to go long again today because I have the time, and I like to go long on Fridays because I'm going into the weekend, and I get 2 days where I don't get to do this. I don't get to vent, and I don't get to talk, and I don't get to kind of have a social life. So I enjoy going along on these days. I am going to take my bong and set it aside. I cleaned it last night, and it needs to be cleaned again this morning. So there you go. And take my King Tut books here, put them down until they're ready to be filed, refiled. I could do it with my toes, but that would be pedophiling. No! Wouldn't it? Wouldn't it? I'm just saying, okay? Don't kill the messenger. I'm just bringing you this stuff, all right? I just find these words. I don't. All right, I make them up, all right? But I don't do it on purpose. So there you go. There you have it. There it is right there. So at this point, my daughter is, she has called tech support for her Switch and has figured out that at this point she just needs to get a new SD card and then re-download all of her games and then hopefully pull all of the recently saved data from her system. So that should everything should be good. Yay! I don't think it's going to happen this week. She's going to a concert tomorrow, and I'm pretty sure she's just going to put this out of her head until she gets back, and then she'll have time to order the SD card and do all of the necessary stuff. So at this point, the show for Monday night is up in the air. If I can get my PlayStation 2 to work and run it into my system here, then I'm going to do that. If not, I'm I'm probably just going to leave the show canceled. I could hook up the Wii, probably. So I'll try a couple of things and see what I can do. And I'll probably do that today or tomorrow so that I'll know how to program the week. But that'll be fun. If I get the PlayStation 2 hooked up, what I'll probably do is one of 3 games. I've got Hitman, one of the Hitman games. I've got, Sniper Elite, or one of those war games, Medal of Honor game type things. So one of those. I like the shoot 'em up games from that era. Nowadays it's all online crap and app assisted bullshit. I liked back then when you just jump into a game and you go straight into it and you battle the way the game is designed to fight, right? And that's what I like. I like the open-ended games or arenas where you can just go in and battle on levels, or battle friends on levels and stuff, and that's cool. But I still really, really enjoyed just the basic game. That's what I love about Hitman, and especially Sniper Elite, the original Sniper Elite. Oh, the graphics, the movement, the gameplay, the field of play, the fact that you can pretty much do the game any way you want, right? And it wasn't like that for a while, a long time in video games. You had to follow stuff, you know. And I like the fact that you can just get into a game and then you can figure out every level the way you want to do it. Quick and dirty, you know, or long and drawn out and methodical, you know. And I love that about Hitman and Sniper Elite and those mission games where you got to go out with guys and fight. You know? And that's about as close to war as I want to get, right? I think that if we solved war by putting soldiers on digital battlefields, right? Let's just put them in fucking warehouses with VR shit on and paintball crap, and let's figure out shit like that, right? Nobody has to die to win a fucking battle anymore. Jeez, come on. And take it away from the people. We don't need wars happening in a fucking city where 1 million people live. Come on. That's stupid. You know? Let's pick an island, and let's drop a bunch of people on an island. All right, you get 100 guys, you get 100 guys. You can have these weapons, you can have these weapons. Figure it out. You know, you put a bunch of guys who want to kill each other on an island, and the best country wins. Whoever wins, wins. That's it. And that's how we solve the fucking problem. You know? We can't find an island to do it here. Drop them off on the fucking moon. Let them kill each other on the moon, and we'll decide, okay, well, look, this side won. You're in charge. You know? You're in charge of Earth for this amount of time. Like president. You know? If that's what it fucking takes to make humans fucking get along. We gotta have our violence. We're human. We're only human. We gotta kill. It's just a human nature. Okay. I think it's a human nature that's been just bred into us, right? And programmed, especially programmed into us. Because we don't need it. We don't need war and violence and death and destruction and all of that. It's like a tool that's being used by some omnipotent being against us, right? They're like, let's get these guys to fight those guys and sit back and watch, right? It's like we got, 6 powerful people on the planet, and they each control various parts of the planet and get various parts of the planet to fight each other. That's what it looks like. It looks like a big fucking, the game of Risk. It looks like a big game, big board game, and a bunch of idiots are sitting around in a big room with a big table, sitting around sipping cognac and smoking cigars, going, let me move a bunch of pieces over here and attack your country. What are you going to do about that? Well, my country's going to attack your country. I'm going to retaliate. Right? That's what it sounds like. You know, just a bunch of rich assholes sitting around, you know, fucking jacking each other off by fucking killing off, you know, a bunch of people here and a bunch of people there and swapping land, you know. Fuck, dudes. Just get a real estate agent, man. Leave the people out of this. Do it in a fucking digital battlefield or something, you know. Or get up and do it yourself, you know. Like, the more you think about something like that, the more it sounds plausible. That it's just a, you know, a boardroom with a bunch of guys sitting around playing a board game, deciding what happens, deciding our fate, you know. And they control presidences and kingses and emperorses and all of these other guys for thousands of years, you know. Maybe our technology as citizens of this planet are just now catching up to that handful of assholes that have been creating havoc on this planet for 1,000,000 years, you know. Maybe we're just catching up to their technology. Maybe they've got technology that keeps them alive for 1,000,000 years, and they can just sit around and move us around like fucking pieces on a game board, right? Ain't that a fucking conundrum? Ain't it? Yeah, ain't it? Ain't it? Ain't it? There's so many possibilities out there in the world for good, and so few willing to go that route, right? So few. Well, I don't really want to shorten up this video time machine too much. If I can just find an interview with Hulk Hogan, or a wrestling match, or some kind of TV magazine, you know, something from the 80s would be perfect. And then something Aussie. I really wanted to use that, but it's like archived Aussie stuff, so I can't use it. But back to the drawing board. I need to find 2 elements and then extract one. Extract 3 elements and replace 2 of them. One of them is just a commercial that I don't need, so I'll pull it out and just shrink it in. Man. Totally, eh? Totally. The whole bummer is that I gotta save it out again, and then I gotta re-upload it, and I gotta go through the checks. So we'll see. I'll find my elements and then just make a quick video, load them up, see what I get. If I get it, then I'll just add that to the video, be done with it. What am I looking forward to today? I gotta go clean a house, but I'm looking forward to a nap. It seems that I do most of my sleeping now during the day again. It always seems like it's the middle of summer. I get into summer, and that's my sleep. That's when I sleep. I sleep big during the day. That's gonna kind of be weird camping. I hope it's not too hot down there. Hopefully it'll be a lot cooler than here. I can just put the van in the shade, and have a nice restful nap during the day. Probably in the morning after breakfast. Get up, have a breakfast, lay down, and then get up around lunch expecting that somebody might show up. Camping. I'm going to scavenge some poles and things off of the old tent that we have. We have this cabin tent that somebody gave to us, and the zipper finally gave out on it, and it just turned to shit. So I'm going to take some poles from that and use those poles and some of these big plastic tarps that I have to create a better camp. I'll use one tarp on the ground just to have a place underneath my canopy that I can go shoeless on and be away from the bugs and all of that stuff. So that'll be cool. And just put a little chair and a table in there, so I've got a place to sit and eat and cook and be out of the bugs. And then have a chair set out by the campfire. And maybe another canopy up high, creating more shade, a shade area, and then having a tent. Maybe having a tent below that. And then maybe taking that tent and putting it up against the easy up canopy, so that I can walk from the van to the canopy and then into the little tent without having to go on dirt. Right? That'll be cool. And then have a place that's probably canopy up above. I think Gary said he was going to bring an easy up. So if we set another easy up and then a canopy out from that, you know, a tarp out for some more shade. I'm going to hopefully get right under a tree. If I'm real lucky, I'll get the tree, and I'll park right in line with the tree and the beach, and then set up some ropes going from in front of my van and in back of my van a couple of feet in either direction, and then go all the way out to the beach. So I take this nice strip of land and save it and hold it for people to show up, and then other people can show up and park nearby or park over in the parking lot. If they're going to camp, they can get a campsite nearby and we can spread it out. Whatever. I like the idea of just setting up a camp. I've got to bring my fire thing. It's the thing that's about 10 inches, 12 inches off the ground, and it's got a screen over it, and it's big and square, and you can put wood in it and have a little fire. So I'm going to bring that so that I don't have to rent one, and so I don't have to hope that there's a fire ring there. I can just, here's my thing, here's my fire, put it down by the beach right near the water, so that if there's any issue with the fire getting out of control, you just grab a scoop of water out of the lake and bada bing, bing bang boom. It's my favorite place to camp. I've been camping there in that same spot since 1975. So it's 50 years for me. So I cannot wait to go back. And I'm going to do all of the stuff. I'm going to hit all of the spots and get pictures wherever I can and put together the greatest little photo album of my little trip down there. I'm going to be there during the week and the weekend, so I'm going to be able to go into places that may or may not be open on various days. I've got thrift shops, I've got the museum, the historical society, the schools. I want to go by the schools. If I can't get in, I'm going to take pictures out front of the schools. Even places like Circle K on Grand Avenue. Places that we used to hang out, right? And I'm just going to drive my van around, and it'll be me and my van and whoever's with me, and picture, and most definitely try to get me and the van in the picture, because neither of us are going to last, right? So I want there to be stuff of totally. I need to get film from my Polaroid, my land camera, because it's classic. It's, you know, so I really need to try to dig up. Somebody on the show the other day was talking about that, and I'm hoping that I can get some film for that. But if not, thank you. I will definitely take your Polaroid and get a shitload of film and take a bunch of photos. Also, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to use my phone, take a bunch of photos, and then age them, print them out as Polaroids, create Polaroids out of some of them, and then use them in creating an annual. Hopefully, if this is just big enough to get people interested, somebody will make this happen again next year, and it'll get big, and it'll become an annual event. That would be great, because it's 2025, and it's like 50 years from 1975, so it's a perfect time to create that kind of annual event that harkens to a bygone era, whatever, you know, just something fun, you know, that just has the past written all over it. Damn it, it got cold again. I'm going to heat this up and then come back and sit here and talk more. What is somebody going to stop me? Well, I'm not going to be taking a dog with me. I've decided not to risk taking a dog, so I don't have to set up the camp to accommodate a dog, which means I can have the easy up away from the van and not set up to enclose the dogs between the van and the canopy area, right? So I can leave the van parked away from the camp a little bit and make the camp its own little entity, so that when I need to, I can drop a couple of cones and then just take the van and go into town and know that my camp is going to be there when I get back. Because I got to do that. I'm going to have to do that on a few occasions. You know, pack up my bed in the back and make the van presentable for a couple of people and go for a ride, you know. So that'll be fun, even if it's just by myself driving around the lake, or just me and Gary just driving around the lake doing photos, you know. I'll take a freaking tripod and do that if I have to, you know. All right, we'll set it up. It's on a timer. Okay, here we go. Picture. I'll do that. Totally. Totally classic-y. I just, I cannot wait to go camping and just sit there in that spot where I did so many things. I lived so much of my life in that town, but in that trailer park, campground / mobile home park, we spent a lot of time there. It's a big part of our life. My father worked there. We lived there. We went to school from there. When we didn't live there, we'd go there to party. We'd go there to camp. We'd go there to boat. We would just go there to get high and leave. Go there at night. There's nobody at the front gate. There's nobody cares. You just show up, you go to a bench, you sit there, you hang out, you drink some wine coolers, get high, make out, get in the car and leave. So that place just holds so many memories. So I can't wait just like to spend a whole day just walking around that place itself. Driving, half a mile down the road and getting out and walking around for an hour somewhere, It's just going to be so fucking awesome. Having at least a couple of people there who were there back then. That's going to be cool. Reliving a lot of those memories, Yeah. Can't wait. It's going to be great stuff. It's great stuff. And I think I'm going to take a laptop and a camera and a microphone, my portable setup. Not this whole thing, but my MLU is my mobile live unit. That's what this whole setup is. This whole thing would be packed into the van and taken. I'm not going to do that. I'll take a laptop and a camera and a microphone, use my iPhone as a hotspot, and possibly go live at some point. If we get enough people showing up, I'll go live and do the auction live, Or as soon as I get the Venmo confirmation, it's yours. All right. I'll send you the shipping and handling information later. Whatever. That might work. I don't know how. I'll probably post links to the event page, post links to Facebook, have stuff on YouTube, and then go live from YouTube and say, look, this is where we're at, this is what we're doing, this is a live event, it's a private event, yada yada yada, and then just kind of do it like that. You have to be in person or on the phone to do the auction. We can't auction stuff off through YouTube or Facebook, right? But we can show what we're doing. You cannot, you're going to have to call somebody, or, if you got somebody there, call them and have them bid for you. That's the only way it'll work, right? Because it's a private thing. You start doing that stuff live, and the algorithm gods start saying, oh, we're going to have to shut you down. This is an illegal sales transaction or some shit. Some bureaucrat is not getting their fair share, so we'll have to shut it down. Shut her down. Right? Oh, I hate that shit. Life used to be so easy, when you could just have a fucking lemonade stand on the corner without getting arrested. So, I still want to set up a photo booth, right? Basically, have some stuff set up in the corner of a canopy with a tripod for your camera, or somebody can stand there and take photos, whatever. And then the items that I bring to auction, I'll kind of set up. I'm going to take this tapestry here. This tapestry is a, one of those deer, elk tapestries. I'm going to take that, and that'll be part of the auction thing. I wish it was a horse tapestry, because girls were like so totally into horses. I might do one of these happy face mugs. I've got 2 more over here, and then the little vase, and then the cookie jar. So I might take one of these. I might take a photo in a frame. Something. Maybe a t-shirt. Oh, I've got lots of t-shirts. So I'm going to hopefully sell some of the rest of those friggin' t-shirts. At this point, I need to pay for my own fucking weekend, because I'm broke going into this thing now. And I'm going to be hard-pressed to get gas, food, weed, and camping fee money, right? All of that is like, for one person, it's so much. If it's for like 4 people, it seems reasonable to pay that amount of money, right? But when it's just one person doing this, that's a huge bite, right? That's like a couple of $100. Just in camping fees. Then there's the gas. A tank of gas is going to be $150. Food, there's $100 at least. Weed, $50. So I'm going to have to now raise money just for that. Just for me, just for one person to go down there. So I'm hoping, against hope, all hope, that somebody's going to show up. People are going to show up. It's going to be big. People are going to want to do the auction, or at least buy a t-shirt. If I can sell the t-shirts, it could possibly pay for half of my camping trip. Unless I got to buy Polaroids, then that'll pretty much pay for the Polaroids. So hopefully. Otherwise, I'm just going down there to camp and spend a bunch of money camping. I think it's going to be, I don't know, $30 or $40 a night without electricity and water. For, let's see, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and if I'm broke by then, I'm coming home Monday. And that's just the way it is. I'd like to stay for a couple of extra days, stay till my birthday, go to the beach, go to Disneyland, that kind of stuff. That's kind of what I hope, that enough people would show up and enough income would be generated from the thing itself that we could hold these other events, right? Ain't gonna happen. If it was somebody else doing it, this thing would be fucking huge, and there'd be 1 million people saying, yeah, we're going, but I'm doing it. So it's like, oh, it's that guy. Do we say we're not interested, or do we just leave? I don't know. What do we do? Just leave it alone. Just leave it alone. Unfollow him, but leave it alone. So I don't know. Fat Albert and the Cosby Kids would have a great song about this, about the kid that wants to get his friends together for a party, and because it's him, nobody wants to do it. I thought we was friends, but the fun always ends. Come on now, come on, Fat Albert, come on, Fat Albert. So let me start a post-it with items. So along with this Cheers video game, I've got 2 Cheers videotapes with 3 episodes. So I'm going to do Cheers, game, and tapes. And that's going to be a little package. What I might do is find a nice photograph of the Cheers gang at Cheers and frame it and add that to the little package, right? If I can come up with one of those little 3-in-1 stereos, cassette, 8-track, turntable, AM, FM, right, 4-in-1. If I can come up with one of those that works with speakers, then I'll curate a little package for that. with a couple of records, a couple of 8-tracks, right? If I could get one of my little car stereo 8-track players to work, for sure, I would auction that with the little speakers that go with it and a case of 8-tracks, right? I've got so many 8-tracks. I could auction off so many 8-tracks. Totally. Yeah, I'm just going to kind of go through different things and figure out what it is that I could McCoy, Happy Face mug, tapestry, elk. And just, yeah, put the walkie-talkies, right? Walkie-talkies. Hooya. Hooya. That's the big Hooya poster, so I'll definitely do that. 8 tracks. 8-track case. And then I'm just going to hand pick a bunch of great 8-track tapes. 8-track case and stereo. And then stereo with speakers and media. Some tapes and stuff. That'll be cool. And I'm just going to go from room to room, shelf to shelf, storage unit, trailer, garage, and just start cherry picking some of my stuff to, it doesn't really matter how much money I make on it, so to speak. I just want to have something fun for everyone to do on Saturday night, right? Something fun to do. I'm hoping that I can get someone to come out and do live music. I really hope that can happen. It's not going to be the way I wanted it. We were going to build a stage and hire some musicians to come out and put on a show for us. And now I'm just hoping that we can get a couple of people to show up and kind of entertain us. You know, so we'll see. The only reason I'm bringing a guitar is in case somebody shows up who plays and sings, but they're like, well, I didn't bring a guitar, so, you know, and I'll say, well, I got one. So I'll put the guitar and accessories, a tuner, a capo, and picks, and slide, and all that stuff, and put it in the van and just have it there just in case. Or people are playing and it's like, well, if we had another guitar, right? So I just want to kind of be ready. My initial plan was to rent a trailer, a cargo trailer, and pack it full of all of my camping gear and a shitload of stuff to auction. And I was going to bring all of my musical instruments and set them up so that when there wasn't any music going on, people could get up there and make music. Right? Oh my God, I haven't played the drums in years, right? Whatever. And it's kind of sad that I can't do this whole big thing now, right? And I don't think that if it were to like really come off great this year, small, and turned into a big thing next year, I don't think I could have any involvement at all in something next year. You know, wheel me in so I can see what's going on and then wheel me out, you know, or come come toast my grave or something. I don't know. I just don't feel like next year is an option, which is why I really, really wanted to make it heavy this year. And it's not an option for a lot of us, and some of us don't even know. Some of us don't even know that we won't be around in a year, because it just takes you. Life just takes you, you know. And I mean death, but it's life that does it. You're born, you live, you die. That's life, you know. So life does that to you. It just comes out of nowhere and says, goodbye. Which is why I try to live every day like it's my last. You know, I try to enjoy as much time with my family as I can, with my dogs, doing the stuff that I love here on this goofy YouTube thing. You know, just creating something to be here when I'm gone, even if it's just as weird as a YouTube channel or a house full of weird old stuff. It just makes me feel like I'm leaving something behind. It's going to be real hard to forget me around here, because there's so much of me here now in this house. Before it was a box full of clothes and some things hanging up and a couple of knickknacks and a guitar. That was it. And now it's like I actually have a life now. As short as it is. So I'm just trying to enjoy life, which is why I don't want to get rid of anything now. I want to keep the things that I have, because I want to enjoy them while I have the time to. After I'm gone, get rid of it all, man. Even the stuff that I want you to keep. If you don't want to keep it, don't fucking keep it, man. Ain't no hang-ups, you know. Move on. Wrap me in my American flag upside down and, you know, bury my heart at Wounded Knee. That's it. That's it. 7:30. Wow. That's crazy. Crazy talk. I can't believe that I'm going back to like my 50-year reunion, moving to Lake Elsinore, 1975. That was the first time that we went there and stayed. 75, 76. Wow. That's pretty heavy. I really had hoped there would be a lot of people coming to see, you know, me, but to, you know, to see the hometown and to see a lot of the places and things. Yeah, I mean, I'll probably sit there on Thursday after I get my camp set up and I'm sitting in the van and chilling out. I'll probably sit there with one of my old maps and map out my route around town, where I'm going to go, where I'm going to stop, what I'm going to see. Go to the dairy, get some chocolate milk. Some eggs. Wow. I really am bummed that Joey can't be there, because I really wanted to show him around my hometown and take him to all of the places that and all of the stories, you know. Of course, he's probably, man, that would have been boring as hell. But it's a really neat place, you know, with a lot of, and if you just let yourself go and let the history kind of take over, you can start to see, you know, past all of the newness and back to the old stuff, you know, stand and look out and see an empty field rather than businesses and that kind of crap, apartments. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. But I know that there's a few people who are nearby, who still live nearby, who are going to be able to come. Whether or not they do remains to be seen. So I am going to start putting out messages to people who I know are in the area. Yeah. You and your yeah. And let them know that, hey, I am definitely going to be there and I would love to see you and hang out, you know, and if possible, do a little drive around town, you know, or photo booth stuff, or just, you know, I really would like someone to bring a boat. You know, I know somebody out there has a boat who's seen this and is thinking, yeah, I might go down and put the boat in the water that night. That'd be great. I'd love to go out on the lake. I haven't been out on the lake since the 1980s. So I would love to go out on a boat and just take a cruise around the lake. That's all. No skiing, no weird shit. My body can't take that anymore. But if I could just take a ride around the lake, you know, have a hit, drink a beer, whatever. I'm going to really have to start putting the food in me so that when I get to that point at the party or the that weekend, that I can actually have a beer. You know, I would really like to sit and toast and have a beer. Oh, I totally get it, dude. I know you're using all of your vacation time to come out in September, which is very, very cool. And I would prefer you do that because it's a young person thing. This is an old person thing. But I don't even know if I'm going to get Natalie to come down. It's going to be a last minute thing. I think she starts school the following Monday, right? So I don't even think it's possible for her to come. If it is, it's going to be Mom or somebody, one of her friends, drive down, hang out for a couple of hours on the night, and then go home. Maybe I can talk her and her best friends to come down and camp for a night. You know, if it's really going to be happening and there's going to be some music and people and a party, you know, then come down, bring your bikinis, go in the water for the day, hang out at camp, roast s'mores and drink beers, and then you guys can go home the next day. That'd be awesome. I'd love that. Those are some great kids. I love those kids. And it would be neat to see people who are our age that we were back then, right? That would be, yeah, I'll bet. I wish, don't even do that. Don't tease me, because I really do wish you were coming, and I wish you were going to be there, and you and Natalie were coming down and hanging out for a day or two. That's really what I was hoping. But, it ain't going to happen. So I'm just looking forward to camping at this point, being on the lake, seeing that sun come up over the water with a cup of coffee in my bong, you know. Sitting there at sunset, you know, hanging out. Maybe go up to the Ortega Mountains to watch the sunset. Taking a drive to the beach. Probably volunteering someone else to drive to the beach and just leaving the van at camp and driving to the beach in the morning, hanging out for a few hours and coming back, right? Go to San Juan Capistrano. I'd like to be down there on Wednesday night and actually go down to a friend in Oceanside who's performing. I'm hoping that I can get him to come up on Saturday. If he's got nothing going on Saturday, Friday or Saturday night, And so far on his calendar, it looks like he's before and after. I'm really hoping that he's got nothing going on, and when I send him a message, he'll agree to come and hang out and, even possibly bring a guitar and hang out and jam. I'm not expecting a show out of my friends, but if they can sit and hang out and play some guitar like we used to just sit around and jam, that'd be great. Show me those chords and that, and I'll sit and play it, and then you can do some lead stuff. That's what I used to do. I used to just sit and do some rhythm and get into a rhythm, and even if somebody had to show me what to play, I'd just figure it out, and then I was like, all right, I got it, now go. And then they would just rock out on the other end of it, right? So we might be doing something. And I'm hoping, baby. But even if it's just me sitting there and a couple of people, that's fine. Maybe somebody will be camping, and they'll be like, hey, I saw you over here, and you're all alone, and, can I play your guitar? Sure. What the hell? What the fuck? No, get out of my face. You are not invited. Invited to what? It's just you. Yeah, I don't want to be bitter. Hey, venom. I don't want to be bitter. I am bitter over a few things, but I'm not going to be bitter over anything having to do with this reunion. I just wanted it to be a peaceful, pleasant thing, and happy time, and no bullshit, So I guess in order to have no bullshit, it's just going to be me. I guess. Because that's the way it's looking. I spoke up politically on Facebook recently and got skewered by a bunch of racists who then decided to poke fun at my reunion, that it's just going to be a bunch of Mexicans hanging out now, right? So if they can look at something that's supposed to be happy for a bunch of people and call it pathetic because of my political views being different from theirs, then good riddance. I don't need it. I don't need that kind of shit. I don't need those kind of people. I don't need that kind of politics or racism and crap in my life, People can claim up and down that they're not a racist, but when they come right out and say racist remarks, what do? It's written right across their face. Which is fine, because most people hide that kind of shit. And then they get pissed off about something, and then they blah, 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 and then it's like, oh, look, there's one. And they go, oh, right, I'm a racist. No, I'm not. I swear I'm not. Well, pick one, man. You're either a racist or you aren't. You're either a Christian or a racist. You're either religious, you either give a shit about people or you don't. You're self-righteous. So, whatever, whatever, dude. It's Friday, so, and somebody went to Widespread Panic concert last night. So then a lot of people stayed up and watched the concert on YouTube. So a lot of these people are probably just out of it today. Out of it. The irregulars, the morning show irregulars. They usually stop by a little later in the morning, closer to lunchtime for their side of the country. Yeah, baby. But I actually didn't expect anybody to come by today. So it's kind of remarkable that Joey's been around. That's so friggin' cool. Yeah, I'm still depressed. I don't know. I don't know what it is. Between the pain and stomach discomfort and the way the shit is going on in the world, and not my personal life with family here, but my personal life with friends and family. That's just, it's really a sad situation. It really is. So I'm just kind of, yeah, if I were a dog, I'd be a melancholy. I try not to let myself get this way, which is why I do the video stuff and try to keep myself occupied, have a routine of putting things together for YouTube. And then have a routine of trying to stay entertained at home in the past. And then my routine of just trying to be involved with my wife and daughter. You know? That will usually help stave off depression, but not always. Sometimes the world just gets in the way, and I just want to close my eyes and turn over and go blah 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 and block out the world. Last couple of days have been like that. And that's a bummer. I'm excited about my daughter going out to go see My Chemical Romance tomorrow, and go have a weekend out with her buddies. So that'll be awesome. Which just means that Mom and I are gonna probably sit here and do nothing. Sit here and go, whew, we're parents. Yeah. I don't know what we're going to do. Probably nothing. Sit here and binge watch a show, or binge watch a couple of movies or something silly. She'll probably have stuff that she'll want to get into and do, right? She's always project oriented. Me, this is my projects here, this stuff. Everything else is just me trying to stay busy. And then if I have the physical energy to get busy doing something, then I've got a million things to do. I need 3 of me, right? 1 doing pain management, 1 sleeping, and 1 working on stuff. And then if we just rotate, so there's always somebody doing something, right? Oy. That would be great. Would just all 3 of us be on 3 different schedules, working all day and all night, doing the same thing that I'm doing here. It's either that or have a new body so that I can be Superman again. It's been a long time since I felt like Superman, right? And I used to feel like that all the time. I'd go out and work on something and get something done and just feel on top of the world, right? Be beat to shit physically, but know that I killed it, right? I don't get that satisfaction much anymore physically doing stuff. I have to do it here. I get the satisfaction putting together a good video time machine or a good live show or something. But that's about it now. I feel good about taking my daughter driving. I feel, good about being able to still go out and work, even though I'm just scrubbing toilets. At least I'm still doing something, and that makes me feel good. Yeah, most of the time. I guess we're getting close to 8 o'clock here on the Pacific Coast, about 9 minutes away. I think we're going to be calling it off at 8, basically because I've got to eat and I've got to get my act together because we have to go clean a house today, and I got to have it together so I can not abandon my wife and make her deal with it. Because sometimes I have to. Sometimes I'm so physically wrecked, I just have to say, call me when you get there, and if it's bad, I'll come help you. And I hate doing that. I hate doing that. It makes me feel so small and insignificant and of so little value, right? I hate that, but value, right? It's the way it is. We have to get value out of ourselves and people. I once had a friend that I was working for. He had property and an Airbnb and stuff, and And I had projects and things going on, and a house here to work on and whatnot. And I'm like, and I was a handyman, so it's like you abandon your life. You abandon your wife all the time. There you go. But this guy, he was just this guy, you know. He was a contractor who had retired because he had gotten injured. He had one gammy eye. And he had a house and a teepee that was an Airbnb and some weird stuff going on, and he was doing contracting stuff. He hired me to go out to one of his Airbnb places that was literally cargo container next to a bathroom with an outdoor place and a trailer, a camping trailer, and that was it. And that was his vacation rental. So he took me out there one day to help him work on the canopy and work on the bathroom and do a bunch of projects, right? And while we were out there, he started talking to me about friendship and how he was trained by his parents to get value out of his friends and value out of his employees. And he considered me an employee, right? And I considered the guy a friend, and then I was doing him a favor, and he's going to pay me a few bucks, and I wasn't asking for a lot, and it was like, I wasn't even going to charge him by the hour. I was just, give me a few bucks and for gas and, pipe load or whatever. And he started talking about getting value out of people and wanted me, he wanted to show me what to do and then had me work on it and be sure to get it done in a specific amount. And I started to wonder where he was going with this. And then it dawned on me that he had hired me. I thought I was going over to help him do a few things and get a couple of bucks and then have him come over and help me do a few things and give him a couple of bucks. And we were going to do a friendship barter trade kind of thing. And he saw it a totally different way. What we had talked about, he had seen it from one direction and I had seen it from another direction. And I finally got to the point where I'm like, dude, how can you look at people like that? How can you look at people as like a dollar sign, in the plus or in the minus or in the balance? I mean, it's like, I don't. And he went on and on and on about getting value out of people. In other words, getting a monetary, a financial, fiscal return out of somebody. Or if you had to pay somebody for something, you were going to make sure that you were going to get every single penny's worth owed to you over something as small as somebody coming over to help you for the day put up a canopy at your vacation rental, right? And by the time I left that day, I was pissed off and I was starting to get aggro at him. And when I left, I was throwing my tools into the fucking car and I told him, you know what, you don't owe me a fucking thing. You got enough value out of me that today, you don't even have to call me a fucking yen, And I was like, I was really pissed off that I thought I had made a friend and I had made some kind of half-assed greedy employer out of this guy. And I was like, I was disgusted, that all he could think about was how much he could get out of me as a friend, right? But we are friends. But you're talking about value and getting your due out of me and what I'm worth to you. And it's like, are you kidding me? Do you see all your friends and family? Yeah, that's how I was raised, to see the value in people and what they can do for me. And what do you do for them? Well, I'll do it and you'll pay me. It's like, okay, so friends and family, they don't get a discount. Okay. Dude, don't ever call me again. I text him, dude, lose my fucking phone number. Don't ever call me again, you greedy fucking bastard. How dare you look at people that way? He ain't around no more. I don't ever see that guy around no more. He dried up and blew away. Because out here in the desert, we look out for each other, care for each other, back each other up, do stuff for each other. We don't ask for shit in return. You know, almost everybody I know out here is like that, unless they're really fresh from the city or some fucking asshole place like this guy was from. You know? Yeah, it totally... I was looking forward to having a long relationship, friendship with this guy, because he was really cool and he knew a lot of stuff, and we could work off each other's ideas, and it was really neat. Nope. I just wrote that dude off. You're out of my fucking life. You know, being able to do that with people has saved me so much fucking hassle in my life. Whether it be a long-time friend or a family member, just being able to say, you know what? Here's your pink slip. We're fucking done. Don't ever fucking call me again. Period. I've done that with fucking close family, you know? And while it usually would only last 10 years the first time, now it's for life. It's like, you know what? We're fucking done. Don't even call me again, you know? If you can't come at me as a completely new person and see me as an individual, see me as somebody else, then don't even call me. You know, if you're going to come at with the same old bullshit and you're going to see me the same through the same glasses you've been looking at me through, I don't need that. I'm not that guy. I've grown up. I'm not the guy that you think, you know, done you wrong 40 fucking years ago or something. Grow up and get over it. You know, move on. And while I've moved on, I don't forget. I don't. I'm able to move on, remember shit, and just like, fuck it, they're gone. What do I care? You know, I don't have to care. I don't have to wrap a bunch of emotion up into that shit. You know, I look back in retrospect. I don't go back to try to fix things and figure shit out. That's pointless. I just look back and go, yeah, it was fucked. Yeah, it was funny. Yeah, it was hard. It was horrific. It was terrible. You know, I'm not looking to fix shit. I'm not looking to get back with, you know, people that have fucked me over or who think I've fucked them over. It is what it is, was what it was, move on. You know, you get together at a reunion, that's fine. You talk to those people, I'll talk to these people, and then we'll swap. But I ain't talking to you. You know, hi, how you doing? You know, that's enough. Hi, how you doing? That might be too much in some cases. You hear the dog out there. Everybody's waking up. He's all waking up. Well. I'm not even hungry, really, but I know I should go eat and just try to get my act together for the day so I can function somewhat normally. So here's one for the road. I have no clue what's going on next week. I think that the movie of the day that we're going to watch is going to be The Dog Days of Arthur Crane. And then possibly, quite possibly, we might finally discuss Over the Edge. Maybe. I think we might build up to it a little bit longer. Maybe we'll grab a couple other weird movies, Labyrinth or something. I like to use stuff that I've got on VHS or Betamax, because those are fun. But we'll see. We'll see. Otherwise, I have no clue what's going on next week. I know that I'll be here. Barring my death, I should be here. Barring any weird, crazy, unforeseen circumstances, I'll more than likely be here. I'm hoping that Joey's going to come back and hang out. I still want Joey to be my co-host, either live on video or live on the phone or something. But he's been around, Joey, you've been around so much that when you're not here, I'm like, dude, things ain't right. I've got all these other people coming by, And that's great. But it's not the same when Joey's not there. So, yeah. It'd be nice if I could have you guest host, like once a week or something. That would be fun. That would be neat. Because I got your photo up on the wall. There it is right here. I got your photo up on the wall back here. And then that ad, I put it into a smaller thing. So it looks really cool. I can't wait to get some more stuff up there. Totally, dude. Turtly. Yeah, like turtles. Turtly. All right, I gotta get out of here. I keep procrastinating because getting back to the day hurts. So I know this day has in store for me pain. It just didn't. There we go. There it is. Damn, we're talking. You're going to be working 12 hours every night for the next few weeks. Oh, well, I guess that's out. All right, well, next few weeks. Well, maybe when I'm camping, I'm just spitballing here, that I can get you when I'm camping. Because if I might go live when I'm camping. I might just be hanging out, texting, doing a video chat. I don't know. I might need some company. I will probably be doing that with my wife in the evenings. I will probably ask her to video chat me and hang out. All right? Tell her to put a movie on and then sit and watch a movie. Hang out together. Especially if nobody shows up. Then I'm going to really be struggling. I'm going to be trying to keep myself from depression. All right, dude. Well, you have a good weekend. Be sure to get some rest and take it easy. All right. I know you're putting in a lot of hours while I'm camping. How's that gonna happen? I've got to make you a collaborator on my channel, right? So that you can come in and do stuff and go live. That would work. I'm going to have to figure that out. But we could do something like that. I could just, show you the ropes, basically. And I think there's a way to collaborate with somebody on YouTube and go live together from different areas. And I could go live and then have you do something. Of course, you're working tomorrow. They're just working you like crazy. Well, as long as you're, you got a purpose and you're in control and you're saving up money and you've got a goal, and then no rest is the point. I did that. I had several years of my life where it was no rest. It was just goal, right? So, yeah, good luck. Stay focused. Stay on point. Just like I tell my daughter, just stay on point. Stay focused. Stay going forward. Because at some point you get old like me and you stop going forward. You're like in a swamp. You're just dragging. All right, dude. Well, thanks a lot for hanging out, man. I appreciate you hanging out and spending your time. I know you're always busy, and I can't wait to do this again. Hopefully you'll have time next week to come and hang out. Take care of yourself, Nobody's going to do that for you. You really have to worry about yourself. So I like the idea that you walk and you eat well and exercise and that, and you work a lot and you're getting it done. You're getting it done. So good on you, mate. Yeah, you the dog's bullocks. So have a great weekend. Working or not, have a great weekend. Stay happy. Don't worry, be happy, man. See you soon. It's only a couple of months away. See you soon, man. See you soon. See you soon. Otherwise, I'll see you next week. Everybody out there, I will see you all next week. Let me cue up the end credits here and get the heck out of here. You know what to do, people. Ooh, kitchen is open. You know what to do. Be kind. Spread peace and love, not bullshit. Be nice to each other. Do something for yourself, but do something for somebody else too. Why? Because it makes you feel good, makes somebody else feel good, makes the world a better place. Also, it's just nice, all right? Most especially stay weird, because if you ain't weird, love you, Joe. Take care. See you soon. If you ain't weird, ain't nobody gonna do it for you, man. You gotta be weird. I find that the weirdest thing is to go out and be really nice to somebody for no reason, and they're like, "What the fuck, man? Should I pay you?" No, sir, I'm just being nice. That weirds people out. That'll turn them into a weirdo, right? There you go. All right, you guys, take care of yourselves, take care of each other. I will see you Monday morning. Hopefully I'll have a video time machine ready for 5 o'clock Pacific. See you later, Joey. Take care. We miss you, and we'll talk to you soon. Take care of yourself, brother. Take care of each other, people. And I'll see you next week, and adios.